Warning, this podcast has some swears in it.
I'd rate it PG-13 at most, but let's just be on the safe side and say viewer discretion is advised.
Alright.
Great.
The pact has been sealed. We can begin.
Yeah, we're fucking locked in.
Let me... where's my... I've got like 20 pages open and 2 screens. Just sometimes doesn't feel like it's enough.
Oh my god, you have 2... Over here with that one, Mimi, you have 2 screens?
I wish I had 2 screens.
Here's where I'd put my second screen. If I
had one.
Hey, this is the Heroes Blade Vibe Check Radio Show. I'm your host, Johnny Mardu.
And I'm DJ Space Girl. Let's get into the news.
Video footage of a game of Commander from the October 25th and 26th weekend has been spreading like wildfire. Commander player Telekin was sighted playing a subtle but deadly creature reanimator deck with Cody Vociferous Codex at the helm.
One of the other players, Benji the Brewer, rose to the challenge with an explosive build around Girid, Mirror of the Wilds. Witnesses of the game saw what could only be described as the most insane deal ever made, where Telekin asked for a turn's worth of immunity from Benji, to which was tentatively made until Telekin's turn specifically, and not Benji's. A relentless meteor shower was then generated between Roxanne, Starfall Savant, and Girid's effect, thus hitting the other 2 players, Empress Quinn and Cole the Bloodrick guy, for lethal damage.
The potential winning board state of Benji felt like a sure victory when the dust settled. However, Telekin mentioned being in the possession of a rogue's passage, ensuring his victory. Eyewitness accounts heard the player Cole whisper, "I'm going to use this for content."
Now, let's check in with our junior news correspondents, Medusa and Light, currently in the air by Sphinx. Heading over to you, GGG.
This is Light and Medusa of GGGC coming to you live from the back of an enormous Sphinx.
That is my wife, and you will respect her and call her by her name?
My apologies. Coming to you live, riding Medusa's wife.
That is not what I...
Look, there, a crowd gathering outside Wizards of the Coast headquarters. Medusa, what can you see?
Hold on, zooming in. Light, it appears that they're holding up signs and chanting angrily about hybrid mana. I recommend we move on immediately.
I could not agree more. What's this? The whimsy meter is getting a reading. Oh my god!
What is it?
We're getting a massive reading, a truly terrifying void of whimsylessness concentrated on one person. Dare I say, this poor soul may rival Sor in his lack of mirth. It's coming from that building there. Sharoom, take us in closer.
So like, at the end of the day, like, I think that Universe is, to be honest, okay, right? But the fucking plague test card...
Wait, is this
you
why
hear
we're
that?
Cole and Quinn are broadcasting for? Okay!
Oh my god!
Fuck!
Time to raise your blades, heroes.
And check some vibes.
It's the Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
Spoiler alert, we got guests, as we said, were happening for this episode. Felt it was necessary and a good way to celebrate 2 years, although Lenny's gonna kill us. We got the hosts, Medusa and Light, over from, let me see if I can get it right this time.
I believe in you.
GasLyght, Gatewatch, fuck.
No.
Fuck! No, GirlBite. You know, I've already fucked this up. Hey, can you two introduce
GasLyght,
each other so I don't look like a fucking...
GirlBite.
Thank you, Quinn. At least somebody
Quinn.
knows us. Somebody sees us. Somebody loves us.
You know what? You guys have been hiatus for so long that I kind of just like forgot. You know, left the mental zeitgeist and then you came back
Vine
from the dead.
boom his ass. This motherfucker's not playing reruns.
You never got it down. You can't say that you fell
No,
off
it's
if
true.
you never ascended the mountain.
Yeah, I'll get it right later. But
To
anyway.
be fair, I helped build that mountain, and I mess it up sometimes.
Start the episode recording. All right, so it's No, wait, hold on. Let's.
If you want to
Get
say
back on the-
GGG cast, that's fine, but don't say G3. That's a person. His name is Nick.
And that's the Zodiac Killer, and that's a completely different thing.
Whoa.
Whoa, yeah, lore drop, Medusa, you didn't know that one. Anyway, yeah, so, hey, you two, thanks for coming on. This is going to be super fun.
Thanks for having us.
Heck
New
yeah.
episode of your cast coming out very soon, which I'm very excited for.
It's true.
Very
It's true.
Yeah.
It's happening. We recorded it. It's being
Hype
edited.
machine
We
engage.
recorded the whole thing, except for the intro.
These things take time. As our own intro will take time, we don't know what the final result's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be funny because, again, I'm so disappointed coming across that YouTube video of like Fallout footage with like a CCTV filter over it, and they're like, the lone wanderer shot up raider galley or whatever. You're like, oh, well, that's crazy. And then they're like, yeah, it was voiced over with Gen AI, and I'm like, just fucking ask people to do it for you, or pay them, you know?
I
Or like,
would-
my
Do you have
God.
any idea how hard people are willing to go for a good bit?
Yeah, I know,
would do
but they're
so many of those bits.
I know, it's just so disappointing. But alas, we have our new bit, and that bit will continue until we get a new bit, and then we'll do that one, and then at the end of our
The bits
time,
will continue until morale improves.
I'm a fan of swapping your bits when you want to.
yeah, like, you know what, if only it were that easy, right? So
It is that easy. It's just expensive.
Yeah.
it's just really expensive, yeah. Cyberpunk future, where are you? We need that kind of cool dystopian future, and not this
Literally
one,
in
because this
Quinn's
one.
background.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a game that I tried playing and then didn't, but I don't know.
Tried playing and then didn't. That
I think
doesn't
it was
make any
called
sense.
No, it was Cloudpunk.
Didn't
Hold on.
even try.
No,
There are
hold
a
on.
lot of games that
I
look
can't-
like that. Most recently, I tried playing Ghost Runner that looked like that. And
Oh, that's a
it's
hard-ass
very-
game, Quinn.
Yeah, it's a hard-ass fucking game. I got,
I-
filtered by the first level. and was
Quinn,
just
I
like,
need
okay,
you to.
I've had enough.
Can
I'm
you
gonna move on.
please screen these games with people? I need you to go to the video game chat. Be like, hey, fam, Ghost Runner's on sale for like $5.
I didn't spend
should
any
I
money
get
on
this
it.
game?
It just ended up in my library from one of those things where things
Like,
end up in your library for
the
free.
bundles,
Right.
yeah.
I have Ghost Runner 1 and 2.
Nice.
They
Quinn,
made a
I
second one
refuse-
already? I didn't know that.
Quinn refusing to engage with media when suggested. Meanwhile, also Quinn engaging with
Fighting for fair
with
life.
niche media that causes pain. Like, no, we gave you suggestions.
Fair
No,
just
quit.
Fair just rummaging through the dumpster, okay? Like,
It was literally just on my plate, okay?
It-
So I had to sample it.
It's
I
like,
don't
wow.
know what you want
fell
from
off a
me.
truck.
Cool cyberpunk ninja game dies in first level. I've had enough of that. It's over. It's
we're done.
Yeah.
coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb video game, and Quinn's coughing because of the weed. All right.
Yeah, the finale
Meanwhile,
of,
I'm over
My
here
Hero.
playing Skyrim for like the 4th time, the 40th,
Hey,
the 100th time in a row.
Bethesda gamers over here being like, I will download Fallout 4 and or Skyrim again for the 100th time. Do accomplish literally next to nothing. We'll come back to this game later and enjoy it every time.
Hey,
It's-
I manually walked up all 7,000 of those steps, okay?
All right. Well,
I'm sure that's important to people who have played that game.
It's so important.
you stand
I'll
on
do
the,
it
you
one of these
stand
days.
you stand at the throat of the world. Is that what that's the mountain? One of the mountains called?
Yeah.
and you just your character stands there. You're like, man. Anyway, well.
Yeah, it's so funny too because you get a little achievement for like getting up to the Greybeards, and if you look on it, it's like I don't know, it's like probably like the 4th main story quest that happens. It's super early on in the game. You can get there if you like skip a bunch of stuff and fast travel. You could hypothetically like get there within the first like 2-3 hours of playing. It's like you get up there and it says like 36% of players have gotten this achievement. It's like, god damn.
What do you mean 70% of the player base didn't do the main story quest?
You know, people
love
really
to spend 80 hours in a game and never touch the MSQ.
the looking at like achievements and stuff like that on Steam or Xbox or whatever, and it gives you the percentile chance, and you're like, okay, Steam, I need you to stop ratting people out like this. And at the same time, people are showing their whole ass. Like, Baldur's Gate 3, of all the people who wanted to fuck Mr. fucking Tentacles, like, no thank you.
Oh, no.
I called that freak a freak, and he fucking was like, I'll give you a stroke. Don't fucking test me. And I'm like, oh, okay, bro. Didn't realize that was under the surface. So anyway, I think like probably way too many. 40% of the people went that route and fucked that guy. So anyway, spoiler for Baldur's Gate 3, I guess. I don't know what the percentage is. I'm not going to look that up. What other video games are people doing right now? I know Light and I have been on the same video game the last little bit.
Yeah, we've been chugging through Pokemon ZA. I've mostly beaten it. I just have to do 200 more battles to get the shiny charm, and then I'm technically, if I want to be, done with the game. Until the DLC comes out in February, which I have opinions about, but we're not going to get into them.
This is, it's the hobby podcast, but it's disguised as a Magic the Gathering podcast. But
real.
I've restarted playing through Digimon Time Strangers Game Good. More.
You restarted it?
I didn't restart from the beginning, but I got about halfway through the game and then I stopped because I went on vacation.
And then you dropped. You picked.
And then I came back, and now after beating most of ZA, I've started up again. Game Good, more at 11. I want to play Jurassic World Evolution 3, but I'm waiting until I finish my backlog to do that.
It's kind of the place where I'm at right now, where I knew Legends ZA was coming out, and if you want to look at it from a surface level, right? Like, there's you beat the Pokemon game and you're done, and then you can kind of do all the other stuff. And you're like, okay, now I'm 100% done, or whatever you want to do it. When I find the person who said 1,000 battles was necessary for that shiny charm, and if you don't do it, you're 100 points off from getting it. I'm like, when I find you, Ricky, or random Japanese dev who looked at the board and was like, circles 1,000 battles, and they're like, this is gonna be a hit with the kids. Like, who are you?
Down a flight of stairs.
Commit seppuku in the office right now. I want this out.
Cole, I know several good Demons of Shadow and Flame that are available for somewhere around 8 to 9 mana if you're interested.
Well,
take a hit out on them.
You know what? You're totally right. I should also get on that. I got to experience that last night, and we can talk about that later. But
I also got to experience that.
We'll get into that later.
I got to do both, and and even Brandon's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then fucking Missy fucking holding me hostage. She's like, "Well, but what if I Maze of Ith them?" And I'm like, god damn it, this is fucking terrible.
Maze of Ith, my number one op. I fucking hate that card.
Well, I was going to say Glacial Chasm. Glacial Chasm's probably up there in terms of my ops for lands and the people who champion that card.
That one.
But my thing with right now is okay, so I beat Legends ZA. My girlfriend's currently playing it. As we speak, she's got hooked, so, whatever. I don't need that cartridge. I don't need to play that game. But then Obsidian's got Outer Worlds 2 out now, and I've been waiting patiently to be maybe I should wait a bit to get it, as I look at my Steam backlog, and I'm like, I don't know, but video games are good, right, Quinn?
Sure are. They sure fucking are.
How's your
Speaking of
Final Fantasy
good video
journey
games,
going?
yeah, I finished Final Fantasy 9. 10 out of 10 summoner roleplay experience, actually. They really put you in Dagger's shoes, and she's your main summoner. And you have a lot of emotional story beats in relation to summoning in particular, which really drives all of that home. So yeah, we had a great time with that. In terms of video game, also pretty good. I don't have like a number for that one though.
Would you maybe say it's a 9 out of 10?
I think
That
it's a
would be
9
very
out of
convenient, wouldn't it?
9 out of 16 at this point, right?
Well, I guess it depends on your perspective.
Yeah, in terms of gameplay experience, I would rate that the 9th Final Fantasy out of 16 Final Fantasies. I started playing Final Fantasy 12 after that. I don't know why we picked that one in particular. But my
I don't know, you
Blurbo
saw
Ash
Bunny Girl
from
maybe,
Magic
and
the
you were like,
Gathering.
that's pretty cool.
I mean, she is pretty cool, but that wasn't what drove the decision there. It was the Blurbo from Magic the Gathering, Ash, Princess of Dalmasca, who finds knives when she attacks. She's in Final Fantasy 12, so we started playing that one.
Of course.
That one plays a lot like an MMO, which is interesting, and I was prepared for that because I've played some of Final Fantasy 14, so it's not as jarring of an experience as it probably was for people who came from like 10.
Critically acclaimed.
Yes, it is critically acclaimed. 14 is. So yeah,
With a demo
that.
that you can play up to level 70. Or
no restrictions on playtime.
what are they on, Stormblood now? I can't remember. It's been a while.
I don't remember either.
I don't play that game, so I have no fucking clue.
There's summons in Final Fantasy 12. The summoner roleplay experience so far is not as strong as 9's. So that's a little disappointing, but the game itself is pretty cool and fun. So there's that.
Maybe it has room to redeem itself after disappointing you in the summoner roleplay experience.
Yeah, I think we're still in the beginning third or so of the game, despite spending like 20-something hours so far. So
we
we'll
love
see.
that.
Yeah, sure is Final Fantasy.
Yeah, my backlog is also looking like multiple 40-plus hour long RPGs. Yeah, after Skyrim, after we do Skyrim and all its DLC, I think we're going to Cyberpunk 2077 for something a little different.
Oh, yeah.
And that DLC.
I haven't played it since the update. And I should probably get the DLC.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Yeah, I got about halfway through, and then the DLC came out about halfway through my playthrough, and I was like, well, they just changed every single system in the game, so I no longer feel like playing this save. I'll buy the DLC and come back to it at this point, queue like 2 years later, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's time.
You know what I'm actually going to dive into...
in roughly a Skyrim's worth of time.
is because they were on discount, Monster Hunter Stories and Stories 2.
I heard Stories 1 is a little rough, and Stories 2 they managed to kind of like bring everything home a little more. I was enjoying myself when I was playing it like a couple years ago or so.
Yeah.
I think I have at least one of those on 3DS and should probably start that at some point.
Then that must be Stories 1 then.
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't think I'll be checking those out anytime soon, but Monster Hunter-wise, I imagine Light and I will probably be getting back to our Rise co-op at some point here and moving on to World as well, I would hope.
Get you through the rest of the story so that we can play World, yeah.
So that we can play World and enjoy some... I don't know. So the thing about like Monster Hunter, and specifically like this new generation Monster Hunter with like Wilds and World and Rise, is that Rise is the one if you want to be like a gamer about it, and you want to be, which I really like. If you want to be like, if you're a sweaty former MOBA player like I am, like hero shooter MOBA player like I am, I like the technical elements of Rise where you get like these basically ultimates, and you can kind of change around your skills and like, okay, if I get like a perfect counter, I get to jump into the air and slam my longsword down on this monster's face. And like all this like cool like anime weeb ass gamer ass shit, right?
You can ninja run on the wall. Like,
Yeah,
come
it's
on.
awesome. It's awesome.
pretty
It's
cool.
so awesome. But if you're like me and you also want to play games where the animals act even slightly like animals, because I am a biology student dropout who is way too hyperfixated on like biology and food chains and ecology and all that stuff, which might have been apparent by the fact that I have a giant spider sitting here next to me. You want your monsters to act kind of like monsters, and World is really the one that kind of
No, they
takes
really did.
that notch up to 11. But I do know that the gameplay in World is a lot slower in a lot of ways. So I'm like,
it's
oh,
grounded. It's
yeah,
more
it's
grounded
like
in the context of it.
I'm not gonna love the gameplay as much, but I'm going to like the world more.
Take it from someone who had played World to its completion with Iceborne and then doing Rise and Sunbreak. And if you want to look at that as like Generation 5, right? Like if Pokemon has all of its gens, Monster Hunter has its gens, where they were kind of like, here's 5 with World, and then here's 5.5 because they kind of brought some of them forward. The gameplay loops that you look for are like, okay, so I have unskippable, unjoinable cutscene in World where you cannot join Light's quest until Light has finished the cutscene and started the fight, but then Light has to like kind of maybe jump out of the quest and restart it to get that point again. And everyone was like, Capcom, what the fuck is this? This is a waste of my time. You guys had cutscenes in For You where me and my mismatched armored ass was in the background of this guy's cutscene, and we're all aura farming before fucking Gold Rathian shows up or whatever, right? And like the problem is that with the more groundedness of World, you are subject to World's bullshit when they are like, cool, so you're endgame now, right? You're like, yeah. They're like, okay, so we're gonna have monsters that have passive AoE attacks that do stupid chip damage over time, and if you are not prepared, you just die. You just straight up die. You're just like, I can't ninja run my ass out of this one, so I guess I'm just fucked. But then in Rise and Sunbreak, like, because they managed to get everything compact to fit on the Switch, and sure, we're playing it on computer and you get the benefits of that, but like they managed to maximize everything to its efficiency while cutting out like the behaviors of like, okay, so I'm not going to go sit there and pretend that I'm interacting with the environment or getting in fights or whatever, right? Like you're going to zip around like a freaking like Batman, and you're going to go find your monster, and you're going to freaking kill it, and you're like, cool, clean up, pack up, do it again, and you just keep going on the loop, right?
Yeah, me and my 3 Power Ranger friends are going to combo this monster. It's not going to get a chance to move.
I mean, that's the thing is like, Rise has been really great for just coming home and being like, all right, I'm going to do like 3 hunts.
I need 30
and I go and I hunt my like 3 Blorbos. I go hunt my 3 Blorbos. I burn their villages, hear the lamentations of their women, whatever, and then I close the game. World is like, I don't know. From everything I've seen of World, I'm like, I would like wander around in these environments, like taking in the digital scenery. Like they're beautiful, and they have like more like meat to like more of an effort. Obviously, I mean, these games are hitting basically 2 different goalposts despite being in the same series and being like roughly the same premise. Where like World has more of like that RPG, like this world, I mean, like the game environments are kind of meant to be very environmental. And like, you're in a forest, and it's like it's trying to be a forest and not just like a backdrop for where your cool ass wire bugging ninja running anime fight is taking place.
But at the end of the day, Monster Hunter fans will still complain about literally anything. And then also, It's that like moat with like the different villages on the hilltops on the opposite side being like our barbarous whatever, right? Their barbarous world building and their unskippable cutscenes and then the other side's like their interchangeable move sets and their ninja dogs, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sakes. I would ideally wish it all kind of managed to come together into one game, and who knows if that'll ever be the case. But in terms of me going and playing Wilds right now, there's been a third complaint of that they've stripped out all the tedium or it's too easy, and then the designers said, yo, Yoshi P, can we borrow Omega from Final Fantasy 14? And he's like, as long as I can get like your flagship monster in my game, no problem. And they dabbed up, and the dab was so strong that Omega has been causing nothing but problems for people who are like getting triple carded. And they're just like, we can't win this, fam. It's like, then stop talking shit about this game, you know?
I think if you're talking about this value with like the mode of like the two sides, I think Wilds is sitting firmly under the lake.
Yeah, it's the skeleton under the lake.
I think Wilds looks pretty cool. I can't really make any gameplay assessment of it because I'm a PC gamer and I don't want to subject my computer to the level of violence that Wilds would inflict upon it.
Yeah.
I mean, I clearly braver than you because I've had this thing in my rig for months now, and let me tell you,
cannot play that game.
No, yeah, I would imagine it's probably not the case. Like they really did be like, yeah, this game's like slowly crawling up to 200 gigabytes. You're like, oh yeah, what is 200 gigabytes? Holy shit! And then like the scene transition happens. Like what happens is because they got like 3 different environmental settings that alternate. So it's like, okay, this is the Plenty. I can't remember all the terms off the top of my head right now, but when it happens, it's like, oh, vegetation starts growing and the light, like the season changes and like lightning storms start showing up or fire and oil and blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, wow, this is pretty intense and really cool to look at. And then people are like, I'm like playing on the top of the line rig and this thing is chugging along. Like it's frame drops and everything. So people just are like, we're in this period right now of like people are like, okay, maybe we're too harsh on Monster Hunter Rise in terms of like graphical fidelity and limitations and everything. We're at this point, and as someone who was not a dropped out animation student, but someone who gave up on his dreams, you look at what everyone's doing in the industry right now, and if it's not some like PS1 inspired like indie game that is not doing anything technically super intensive and nearly anything and anyone can play it, it's like maybe we should like step back from all like the crazy stuff going on in the environment because my computer is 0.5 seconds from exploding and I need you to like go back to like an 8 and not be in an 11, you know. But
tapping the sign, I want shorter games that look worse, made by people who are paid more to do less, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Damn, Sonic, you spitting, right?
They should also cost less, but that's my soapbox.
We don't. Yeah. Every time I hear they're like, oh, $70 game, I'm like, you mean $95 to $100 game up here across the board?
Yeah, they should cost less and people should get paid more to make them. And those sound like two mutually conflicting takes, but see, they're not.
Anyway, as a reminder, our ops are the CEOs and the stockholders, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, something.
Hey, speaking of rampant capitalism, let's talk about Magic the Gathering.
Oh my god, we've gone all. Yeah, I was about to say 45 minutes, and we haven't even mentioned Magic the Gathering.
We have, but it was just
like once.
Like the Final Fantasy card,
the Balrog,
the Balrog. Oh my god, famous Magic the Gathering only character.
Card.
The Balrog of Moria.
You know, like Ash, that famous Magic the Gathering character.
Yes, from the Magic the Gathering set Final Fantasy.
Have you
Princess
heard of
Damaska.
Fire Lord Ozai, that famous Magic the Gathering card, going to be printed in the upcoming?
Oh my god, yeah.
We're losing the plot.
He's another type of Balrog of Moria.
We need some vibe checks to bring stability back to Light's life. Like,
I'm like, the Balrog of Moria, he's been around since, 1936? I wonder what else he's done besides Magic the Gathering. What are his other film creds?
yeah.
Can't think of anything, just Magic.
Probably a number of video games.
Yeah, probably. And
Battle for Middle-earth 2.
You know what? Hey, people were complaining too much about Monster Hunter Wilds. We need to get the fucking Balrog as a fucking enemy in that game.
Oh,
Wait, is that real? Can they make that happen?
Can we make it happen? Okay, let's do vibe checks. Medusa,
hi.
Hit us with it. What do you got?
It will come as no surprise to anyone who knows me that my vibe check here is Teval, Arbiter of Virtue. Which is a 6/6 flying lifelink
Why are you booing her?
dragon.
She's right.
4/5.
We're not booing, we're wooing.
Oh, okay.
It says, it has the amazing text of spells you cast have delve. But don't get too excited just yet, because it also says whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value. So, I mean,
sure
I think that the argument is in the card text. Card has lifelink. Card drains life when you cast spells. 9 is a bigger number than 6. So you throw the Hero's Blade on her. She has flying. You hit for 9. If they block, cool. If they don't block, cool. You just gained 9 life. That's like an average of 1.8 spells more that you can cast. When you look at the average curve of a commander deck. So yeah, that's mine.
Not much to be said, really. The card text speaks for itself.
That sounds great.
Thank God you're weaponizing Teval and not just leaving her sitting there.
Yeah.
Also, 5 mana 6/6. Whoo.
Oh yeah, it's big. I had one of the first games I had with Teval. I was getting land flooded. Basically had nothing except a Hero's Bladed Teval, and was still very much a threat for the entire game because you just cannot ignore a 9/8 dragon swinging at you and gaining me 9 life.
That's how it feels playing Indominus, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not seeing something here. Light, do you not have a vibe check for us?
I couldn't think of a vibe check that found interesting. All right, here's one. This is one. We'll pose this as a vibe check. Is there a world that you can think of where Ishtola Knights Blessed passes the vibe check? Because I can't think of one.
Well, we gotta talk about Cat Girl Supreme. So give me a second here. I need to think. So that is okay. So I looked this up yesterday or the day before because I was chatting with some people and they're like, oh, I'm trying to buy all these Dimir cards, but then they're like $20+ now because of Breed's Notes Y'shtola. You're like, what the fuck? So let's look at it on the surface, right? So we are talking about a creature that becomes a 5/6 with vigilance in Esper. So you know, it seems like okay to me.
Yeah.
If you manage to punch someone in the face with her, they lost more than 4 life, so you get to draw a card. And if you're Empress Quinn, you get to play a bunch of Mirren Swords, so you get to trigger her last ability. So I'm just going to say, yeah, probably. You could figure it out if you put your mind to it.
I don't think Empress Quinn's Catgirl Supreme deck has a single sword in it.
It's a burn deck.
Yeah.
That
really
is the most
deck.
disappointed that I've ever been in Empress Quinn in my life.
And mine's a
So sad.
And mine's a
The swords trigger the Y'shtola! What are you doing?
Yeah.
I have other slots. I had to put 9 of my very best friends in the deck.
Yeah. Anyway.
Call fair Temu, because that is massively off-brand. Anyway.
My God.
Maybe she passes the vibe check, but I don't think that they're... I feel like it is the 600th most interesting card you can play in her.
Yeah.
There are plenty of commanders that pass the vibe check that you
know
don't
what?
put the blade
Sorry.
in the deck because you're doing other things.
Let's reframe that, because any other card you add to the Y'shtola deck is more is not as boring as she is.
Well,
I'm trying to cast
World
Helm of the Gas
Star.
Lord, you know? Like, I have other things to do.
I'm trying to fill
Yeah, I
the
don't
board
know.
with slivers. Fuck you, Cole.
My case on
Yes,
Catgirl
congratulations!
Supreme.
All of your slivers are now infinitely more entertaining than the cat girl leading the army.
My verdict on Catgirl Supreme is that Sharam is Catwoman Supreme, and that's where we'll leave that.
True. I have no disagreements there.
That is technically correct, but I would never describe a Sphinx as anything cat, like girl adjacent.
No. That would probably be the thing that gets you eaten when they're like, answer me these riddles 3. The guy's like, cat girl, and then they're just dead. They just die on the spot. It's over.
Bam!
You're lucky if you get even eaten, let alone stomped, and they're just
just swatted off the face of the earth with a rolled up copy of the Alaran Times.
Get turned into fucking pink mist.
yeah, just get out of here. All right. So you know when I said a few episodes ago that Zur, the Enchanter, didn't deserve the blade?
Yeah.
I take it back for Ozai, the Phoenix King.
Oh, so it's okay when a baddie that you like has the blade?
Yeah, well, at least I'm gonna beat you in the head about it rather than bring out some bullshit 3-mana enchantment.
Zur literally has to attack. He's beating you in the head. What more do you
but
want?
Ozai beats harder, so
Ozai
I guess
doesn't
we
even...
can...
The blade doesn't increase Ozai's commander damage clock, and he doesn't have a damage scaling ability.
I don't give a shit. He becomes he comes huge. That's all that matters. So anyway, this villainous asshole is a 2 double black, double red human noble that's a 7/7. So again, we're getting above rate for mana, which is stupid.
It's giving Ravnica guild leader.
Heavily, yeah.
Trample, haste, firebending 4, which is sick, great. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead. Which I imagine it's like Leyline Tyrant and like all that other stuff where you just keep
there's
mana.
Leyline Tyrant, there's Bayo Irritable Instructor, there's the Horizon Stone, which will turn it gray, but then Ozai, like, you've got a myriad of ways to keep red mana in an offshore account.
And then Ozai has flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana, which is really interesting. And that's how Quinn can finally have mana to cast instant speed interaction.
Mods, explode his kneecaps.
I don't know.
Give Cole car insurance.
It's
What?
oh, I gotta go to Geico. Oh, jeez. Okay. So to Light's point, yes, we're not getting to the 2-shot clock when you're at a 10-9, but you are also at 10-9 with trample and haste that also makes you 4 mana on the attack. So pretty good. I also thought initially, because I'm just so used to this version of Ozai in the show flying around like a bat out of hell, that I'm like, he already has flying, and they're like, no, look at the bottom part there. I'm like, oh, okay.
He only has flying when he turns the jets on.
Yeah.
And he can only turn the jets on when he's empowered by the might of Sozin's motherfucking Comet, a Magic the Gathering card that they have shown me recently.
Did they actually? Okay, I can't remember because when we last recorded, I'm pretty sure it was just before they started doing previews, like the next day. We were like, damn. And I'm pretty sure the Comet actually like came out and we were like, wow, or maybe it did, I don't know. But Quinn, we're gonna take a detour here. You finally had your prayers answered. You were like, please.
I was hollering, show me Sozin's Comet, I will be normal again. And they showed me Sozin's Comet, which is a sorcery that you can foretell for 2 foretell and then cast for 2 in a red, and it gives creatures that you control firebending 5 until end of turn, which
foretell.
is a lot of red mana. Holy shit, what the actual fuck? I just need to cast Fated Firepower in the middle of combat, dump all of that in there, and you're dead. You're fucking dead, kiddo.
Man, Dragon's Rage looking really good right now.
True, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people come up with their answers to deal with like the firebending mana. Because double red, especially once you get to your next vibe check here, Quinn, it gets a little difficult to be like, okay, how and when do I use this mana and what do I use it for? So can you tell us what you use it for?
Yeah, actually, my vibe check here is Firelord Azula, who is a 4/4 human noble for 1 in Grixis, and she's got Firebending 2, and whenever you cast a spell while she's attacking, you copy that spell, which is
Pretty
fucked.
good. It's pretty fucking good. This is the Grixis Mean Girl.
Truly, yes, this is the Grixis Mean Girl of the set, and the thing that I'm doing with her firebending mana is using that to pay for the attack trigger on Vivi's Persistence to put it back into my hand, so that I can cast that in the middle of combat and make more black mages who will all see me cast Vivi's Persistence again next turn.
Gross.
Incredible.
Disgusting. Vivi really do just be that character in this card game.
He's that
we play.
motherfucking guy. I should put him in the 99 of this Azula deck that I'm working on. But anyway, Firelord Azula, I think she passes the vibe check. Girly wants to be attacking. It puts her on the commander damage clock. Unfortunately, I don't have the slots in my deck to play her because I wanted to focus on flash creatures and things that you can do at instant speed to throw a fucking pie in the face of people who say that I only play at sorcery speed ever.
Oh, you made one new deck. Woo.
I added more
saw-
instant speed stuff to other decks too.
Sorry,
I'm
go
trying.
ahead. Go ahead,
I
Light.
saw Azula come down, and then I also saw Zuko and Mai, which gives your artifacts flash, and I'm like, this bitch will do anything to avoid an instant.
It's an instant. Like,
Yeah.
There's
know,
a card
cards that
type
were
that
designed-
does that.
they do that already, but instead you're like, but what if I cast a Mirren Sword mid-combat? I'm like,
What if I had 2 cursed mirrors?
And did nothing
that
with
is-
them. You did nothing with those cursed mirrors. They were just mana rocks.
There is a moment that's probably going to
I
come
used
up.
them to cast Azula again, thank you.
There's a moment that probably is going to come up when we're talking later, where I think everyone except Quinn was tapped out, and I was like, all right, if anyone counters or has interaction for this, I'm fucked, but only Quinn has open mana, so I'm basically fine.
so you're scot-free. You're good.
I'm basically fine, and I was.
You hate to see it.
Quinn. It's like when Quinn got pressed last night in the game, and Quinn's just like, fuck, I'm being pressed. Who's using my strategy against me? It was great. It was fucking fantastic. Don't be caught slipping, everyone. Quinn, please, for the love of God, put in, the fuck is the counter spell where you and the draw cards?
Arcane Denial.
Yeah, just
No.
put in Arcane Denial or something, please.
You
Just,
say,
Also,
you
if
say
you
don't be
focus
caught
on enough
slipping,
style.
as Quinn is actively in the art of tragic slip as we speak.
If we flip the coin on the other side, Quinn's danger sense for instant speed interaction is very good. I played my 5th land drop with nothing else on the board and then passed. In Jund, mind you, so I wasn't even playing blue, but then it went to Quinn's turn with 2 open creatures to attack with, and I'm just sitting here with the Fire Nation attacks in my hand, and Quinn says, no, that's bait, and doesn't attack me.
It was!
I guess all those mainboard aetherizes made Faye realize maybe you should be
Yeah.
Swing into open mana.
like, just no, be me and
Sometimes
take
I
the
do
bait.
fucking make you have it, but other times I'm like, no, not this time.
No.
Oh my god. Okay, here's my last one, because I think we got our share here, and in case you couldn't figure it out, we're talking about mostly Avatar cards because it tends to be the shit right now.
Yeah, it's new.
And Temple.
Avatar Roku Firebender, I don't think needs it. Maybe. I'm not sure.
He's a 6/6, right?
Yeah, so 3 triple red for a 6/6 human avatar. Whenever a player attacks, add 6 red until the end of combat. you don't lose this mana as steps end, and then you can pay triple red. Target creature gets +3/+throw until end of turn. So we already have like built-in fire breathing for literally anything, which is kind of freaking goofy. And I'm like, it's time to goad my opponents and make you attack each other, and I make you punch each other harder. That's my whole thing. But yeah, Roku can get in there, but I'm just like, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. Like, other things could probably benefit more while he kind of sits back, which is maybe the waste of a 6/6, but I don't know. I think if he had another keyword or something, we could probably make an argument for it, but he doesn't have anything else. It's also like, I don't know, pretty stacked like set of text on there.
I do like that you can give your opponent's creatures on other players' turns the buff.
Oh yeah, so cool.
I think that's very funny.
They're like, but what if I attack? Will you help a guy out? You're like, yeah, you're flying man. That's a 1/1. Yeah, I guess I can make you punch them for like 7 or something. Yeah. Seems pretty good. Yeah, I remember recently. Combat Trick Cody was like, yeah, I think I'm good to skip on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then Quinn and I are on his shoulders like, ooh, look at these super cool cards. Ooh, and he's just like, fuck.
Ooh, interesting design.
He's like, fine, okay, I've changed my mind, you know, and you're like, oh, okay. So yeah, cool. Vibe check's over. Good job, everyone. Let's go into comments. I should have updated this, but this is actually Lobster over in LCP saying, yo, Cranky is down to funk. Lamel, I clearly remember that moment. I don't remember that moment. I gotta go find that moment, but
I remember that moment.
Yeah.
I read this comment and I think of Cranky Kong, and I'm like, what are the implications? And I understand that that's the incorrect context.
But it is a funny thought, though. Quinn, what does Lenny have to say?
Lenny says, so I want you to know I'm not upset. I think of myself as a host of the podcast in the way that people say a house, a small town, or a New York City is a character in the story.
Anyway, so yeah, in case anyone hasn't figured out, we could probably have some people come back to the podcast. So we will be doing that. We can get a Johnny's Gay Pride Night back in here. Uncharismatic Bard saying, great soapbox, love all the decks y'all are on about. As always, this is where the good vibes are. Yeah.
Thanks, fam.
People really did love that last episode. People do be yapping about it all over the place. It's pretty great. Last comment here.
What a hoot and a half of an episode. Keep bringing the heat, y'all. Thank you.
All right.
I should get a comment in there at some point now that my Spotify name is no longer like my full legal name.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the only thing that was stopping me from commenting on episodes before. So
yeah, I mean, we would not dox you on a podcast. Would you dox your guest on a podcast? No.
Well, I mean, the point of it being there would be a comment out there in public that would have my full username on it that people who else listened to the podcast could see. So you would not have to dox me because I would in fact be doxing myself.
Yeah. So speaking of Spotify or music, I guess, I don't know, Spotify is a fucking cesspit, don't we know it? Quinn, before I should have checked in ahead of time. Do you have a track for us this week?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I believe you.
Carry on.
All right.
And then that's the part of the podcast where Cole splices in the track.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is up, Spacelings? DJ Space Girl here, back at it again on the ones and twos for HBVC Radio. Up next, I got a real nostalgic track for you from Eclipse, inspired by vinyl-sampled breakbeats and funk riffs on analog synthesizers. This is another one of them joints you want to get real comfortable for, and let that warm sunshine wash over you. Coming to rock the mic again. Hey homie, how you been? Still straight chillin', along with the beats that I'm killin'. Turntable with the scratch pad to fill in. Oh yeah, that's the loud back. And where I'm from, I'm proud. There we go, spark it up. And if you feel me in the crowd, hold your lighters up. Seal, gold-plated fountain pen when I sign a deal.
Wow, that was a really cool track, huh?
Yay,
Oh my
you.
gosh, I loved it so much.
Wow.
I'm sure some versions of us in the future will love it, right? Right.
Oh,
Anyway,
absolutely.
it was also a hit. The last track was also a hit with people, so hey.
Suspending my appreciation with 3 time counters on it.
Yeah, I spent time in the Wub's mines to learn the secrets of Wub, and then they were revealed to me, and so I put them on a track.
Oh, heck yes.
All right, let's go to I'm now calling it creative media because when I'm even getting tired of saying content, but
Yay!
Hell yeah, dude. Creative media.
so let's start off with a little bit more of a serious one here. So, hey, real life fucking sucks if you're someone in the States and you rely on food stamps to get by, right? So Command Zoe on Blue Sky and is doing streams over on Twitch for the entirety of November. Is doing a food bag direct aid fundraiser. Every $10 that you donate and show proof of donation, you're being entered to win a prize. I don't know the full gamut of giveaway stuff, but if you can, your dollar goes further with the food bank than your actual donations of food and stuff. So put in your check out Zoe's stuff. I got the links to Zoe's Blue Sky. I'll also get her Twitch on, and I'll also get the Google form that you can fill out regarding the proof of donation and so on and so on and so on. So please take a look at that. We'll be talking about that probably for the next couple episodes and trying to get the word out there. And now for infinitely less serious things, friends of mine who don't play Magic sent me this. It's this short from Midnight Mana on YouTube and socials there, where it's kind of like this What We Do in the Shadows skit, where one of the players is that most boring, exhausting player, and he's like, I'm an energy vampire. Sometimes I make people, and every time he's like, I play this spell, and they're like, God fucking damn it, Colin Robertson, and he's just like,
the whole pod is dressed up as the cast. I love this.
It's so good. It was so funny. I find this really funny. Yeah, don't be Colin Robertson. That's all I have to say. So go check that out. Then Legendary Creature Podcast, they after a brief hiatus because Andy got sick, they hit us with 2 episodes in a single week. The first one on the Monday was their usual Before You Go episode where they go over a bunch of sets from the last little bit and talk about cards and legendary creatures from the last few sets. So they did Duskmourn, Aether Drift, Final Fantasy, and why do I not know what that one is off the top of my head? TDM? What is that?
TDM.
Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Target Dragonstorm. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Quinn and Lenny were mentioned in that episode. They got deck lists for what do you call him?
Yeah, I talked about Joshua.
Yeah.
Yeah, J-Dog.
J-Dog, yeah, thank you. And Sabin. So go check that one out if you want to know what the hell's been going on the last few sets. That is noticeably not Spider-Man. And then the second episode that they put out was cards concepts for Commander Damage. Andy's continuing his look at Commander Damage and the strategies that surround it, trying to create different terminologies beyond just Voltron. And this is sort of the cards that you want to consider the weight cost analysis of using equipment all the time, like some people I know, versus other means of boosting and leveraging card advantage. And then just a note, because, things, stuff happens when you do episodes every couple weeks. Bunch of stuff is being previewed for Avatar right now.
As the sun sets on Avatar preview season.
Yeah, no shit. Holy.
I have that phrase muted on the internet now because too many people were making "as the sun sets" jokes, and I'm like, all right, I'm pulling the plug.
Yeah.
None of you can be trusted.
Looks at Quinn's muted. Just an avalanche
It's so much,
of terms.
dude. I am in absolute bliss because I don't see shit.
Yeah. Quinn's like, I'm like, hey, Quinn, have you seen this thing on Blue Sky? You're like, no. And I'm like,
No.
all right, never mind. Moving on with my life. Yeah.
Discourse? I don't know her.
Yeah. Canon and do not engage.
Literally.
This set has got a lot of weird, cool, funky stuff. There's every legendary creature and every variation of that particular character that you can think of across rarities. Firebending exists across color combinations because it is not a color ID indicator thing.
It's reminder text.
We got a cool ass Avatar Aang themed board wipe that bounces everything back and airbends them and all that. Like, there's a lot of like funky stuff in this set, and I am a sucker for card mechanics, so I'm in it. I love it. I don't really think there really needs to be anything that needs to be said outside of like the vibe checks that we've been talking about already. I'm interested to see what else is going to be showing up and what people are going to be playing, not just in the command zone, but in the 99. Because they got some cool stuff. We got shrines. We got allies are getting a bunch of support.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else to know for some people? Any highlights?
I like every card with firebending. I have decks that are focused specifically on achieving the goals of the commanders that have firebending, but I would like to put together a deck that is just unashamedly every card that says firebending on it and mana sinks.
Makes sense.
Insane. Okay, yeah.
I feel like I approach sets this way. This set, TMNT, Spider-Man, most of these universes beyond sets, I approach from the angle of I'm probably not going to find a commander, so what's fun in the 99?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I am a big fan of like secret commanders and lieutenants and, having like these legendary creatures that are in your 99 that are kind of just there to hang out and be chaps. So I have been looking at both versions of Wan Shi Tong. I think are really, really cool and might end up in some of my decks in the future. Honestly, the X-Spell one may end up in Tebal at some point as just like a really big draw spell or a early game kind of value spell. Kind of like a modal.
Just get in there and feast on all those green mages shuffling their libraries when they're fetching or whatever.
Yeah, fetching a million times.
Speaking of the filthy green mages, I like earthbending a lot. I think earthbending's probably...
to the shock of absolutely no one.
I think earthbending's probably the least okay of the four. Waterbending may prove me wrong, but earthbending is fucked up.
Yeah, that is pretty good. They really did take people really hate animating their lands because there's downsides, so we're going to remove the downsides.
Yeah.
Will you
Like,
animate your lands now?
No
please?
downsides. Only animation.
The stepping stone being animate your lands and they're indestructible and other keywords, probably, maybe. And now we're at the, you just get them back. Like if they
Yeah,
poof,
they
they,
don't
come
die.
back. You're just like,
The thing that really like blows my mind is this play pattern that you demonstrated, like where you made a fuck huge land and then you cast like momentous fall or some shit and drew cards equal to the power and then put the land back onto the battlefield tapped. Like there's no downside.
Trigger landfall.
In the year of our Lord, 2025, there are no downsides, only upsides.
Only upsides.
Only upsides.
We are
It is
riding
fucked.
this boulder like the pioneers as the line goes up.
I like airbending. We
Yeah.
don't usually have a lot of cool ways to. We've had like ways to flicker things since the dawn of time. But trying to find ways that are not just like core Skyfisher type effects to reuse cast triggers, which some of the biggest and best cast triggers notably are on Eldrazi, for example, which are quite expensive to replay if you want to go that route. So having like some airbending stuff that you can play where you can recast your Ulamog for 2 colorless mana and get that double exile trigger again. If we're I think I'm talking about the Ulamog V2 or V1. I think V3 is the only one that doesn't really have like a super like interesting or any cast trigger. If I remember correctly, I want to say his is an attack trigger.
all Eldrazi are like vacated for my brain. I don't care.
That's
Yeah, I
fair.
don't
Oh,
store
no,
that
no, no,
really
no.
sticks in memory.
No, I think he does. I think his cast trigger is target opponent puts half of their library into exile.
I think that's correct.
That's
Yeah.
one of them.
So yeah, like any of those cast triggers are super cool with airbending. And it's space that I may explore, or it may just be like, it's cool that this is here, but this shit is too rancid for me, fam. And we'll see. We'll see, because I'll probably try it like once or twice, and we'll see how much wailing and gnashing of teeth there is from the peanut gallery.
I just
yeah.
I think
They're-
the fact it can be both used like on yourself and against your opponents is fine, because your opponents at least still get the chance to get the card back for 2 mana. Like, it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. It's the new...
I mean,
It is annoying.
you know, unless I have Draenus Magistrate.
Okay, then we might have a problem, but...
Okay, Satan.
I will say from experience, as somebody who's played a lot of Soul Partition, the number of times where somebody will cast a thing for like 5-6 mana and then you put it in timeout and say, okay, you can have it back if you pay 2 mana. People, more often than you would expect, just refuse to recommit to casting the thing.
That is bizarre to me. That
The
makes no
curve
sense.
is built around doing other things at that point in the game. It's past when you
But
would
it's
want to
2
resolve that.
mana! It's, in this
I don't
case,
know,
in this
but
example, but
Sometimes
like...
you got a plan to spend 5 mana and then 7 mana, and that doesn't make room for 9 mana on the 7 mana turn.
Exactly.
Okay, that just sounds like greed, but whatever. Okay.
It's not greed. It's called curving out, nerd.
Who does that? Just
Anyway,
play
I think
tap
there's a
land
lot of
and cast
potential
it.
for firebending and airbending to hold hands. All of these
yes.
things that say you can cast spells at flash speed. All of these things that say firebending 2. You attack, you add the 2 mana, you firebend or you airbend a thing out, and then you use your firebending mana to cast the thing. I think that there's a particularly potentially strong Boros deck where you make the airbenders and the cascade cards and cards that say firebending, all of that hold hand, and you use the airbending to rebuy your cascade cards and cast them again for 2.
Somewhere of Vorthos just like dropped dead of a heart attack. Well, we're bad enough that we've already got like this Fortnite-esque Aang is in Magic now, but now you're not even sticking to the flavor of the established universe.
Could not care less.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong person for that. But
Absolutely.
hey,
I'm gonna cast
Firelord-
the fucking Legend of
Firelord
Yamcha and exile
Zuko.
some shit, and I'm gonna cast the Legend of Roku, and I'm gonna make a guy with firebending, and then I'm gonna use all that mana to cast the guys that I airbended out with the Legend of Yangchen. What's up?
I can't wait until we get the follow-up set and we get the actual saga titled The Legend of Korra. That will make me very happy.
It'll make you and the designers in the office, who will all high-five themselves when they get to do that, very happy.
Good job,
Oh, yeah.
everyone. We did it.
You know they're
fucking
already
did it.
high-fiving themselves over it as we speak, and they haven't even done it yet.
Yeah, they're like, it'll be so sick when we get to do this.
Yeah.
Cole seems to have slipped into a sleep mode.
Yeah, pretty normal. Sorry, I was just checking on something really quick, but yeah. So I don't know. I know there are going to be a lot of people who look at the set and are like, "Wow, more UB," and you're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
dude.
But it is one of the more like least. I don't know. We're talking about the grand scale of things, and the freaking dam's already been burst. But it is like one of the
It's
more
all personal preference.
Yeah, I don't know. It's already like fantasy adjacent, so it doesn't feel as offensive as like Doctor Who and Fallout and Warhammer 40K and
All of those lines are arbitrary as well, considering the aesthetic of older Magic the Gathering sets compared to the science fiction
No,
stuff
I know,
that we got
exactly,
in Warhammer.
like,
there's, it's like if
look at Brothers
people are
War
drawing
and
the
look-
line, it's all arbitrary and it's not useful. Qualifying, well, this is close to Magic, so if it's like none of that fucking matters. Just tell me that you like the set because you like the set.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Halfway
like most
through-
of the sets.
Spider-Man sucked because halfway through the design process, they changed their entire plan in pursuit of more profits because they knew it wasn't going to sell, because the Assassin's Creed set didn't sell.
Spider-Man was a bad IP for Magic the Gathering, is my hot take, because it's just a bunch of essentially variations on the same characters, so you have to have a million legendary creatures, and, like, I'm sorry, like, they did a really good job for what they were given, but, like, you don't really have the tools, if you're looking at just Spider-Man, to realistically flesh out the color pie in a way that feels satisfying and in a way that gives you draft mechanics that make sense, but also flavorfully resonate. And that's how you
Designed
end up
their
with,
asses
like...
off on those 5 transforming double face.
Oh,
legends.
absolutely.
Those guys all
absolutely.
rip.
But, like, we could have gotten those as a secret lair, and that could have been as far as we needed to go.
well, and that's the thing, right?
And that's
like,
kind of where it was going. That's kind of what it was supposed to be.
whatever, the execs at top and the people who are shaking hands and exchanging money and to be like, yeah, we will print Spider-Man cards on our Magic the Gathering product. Like, okay, cool, whatever. But, like, where's the person who sits there and is like, you know, I've read all the Spider-Man, like, comics and shit. We got Jack to fucking work with here. So,
Yeah.
like, whatever small Assassin's Creed style set that they had going, I'm really curious what that looked like before they were like, hey, by the way, you got less than 6 months to try to figure the rest of this set out, or whatever the duration was.
It's like that TikTok trend that's like, you know, where it's like, I am the CEO of Hasbro and I think that we can print 200 Spider-Man cards. It's like, I'm the
Was
game
it
designer
200?
and I think you should shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just
that someone will know what I'm referencing.
I don't be on that website.
So, just to tie this whole last thing up, just to view people's perspective on Avatar and stuff like this, is that I recently had to explain what color identity was in the context of Commander, because he's recently got back in Commander, and he recently started playing like Commander with a bunch of people who are very experienced and knowledgeable and very entrenched in it, right? So then we were going over his deck, and I was like, oh, so there's a new bracket change, and he's like, oh, what's it about? I'm like, which we'll be talking about in a second here. And I'm like, oh, like, people are talking about hybrid mana. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. This isn't a discussion. Yeah, okay, thank you. Boo.
I will say nothing lest I be killed.
Yeah, lest he hated his message because he was right. Don't play hybrid colors in your fucking whatever deck.
I'm locking
you
that
suck.
thread. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I'm like, okay, so you can't have like a green card in your Jeskai deck. And he was wanting to look for a cut for like an Emery or something, and then he shows me a whole ass green card, like just a straight up green card in his deck. And I'm
It's
like,
got fucking giant growth.
no, he got that what's that Final Fantasy X enchantment, like Sphere Grid or something? Like
Oh,
it's Sphere
no.
Grid in his Edge of Eternity's Jeskai counters.
see the vision,
mate.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
mate.
and he's like, I don't know. I thought like I don't have any other green lands or anything, so I just thought if I found a way to cast it, I should be able to play it. I'm like, yeah, you and a bunch of other people who want to break this game over their fucking kneecaps. We're not doing it. Get it out. Easiest cut in the world. And then later, when we were sharing the mechanics of Avatar, because everyone's like, what is earth bending? What is air bending? And I got 4 examples with the reminder text in it. And he asks, he's like, so what does black do? Like, what's black's thing? And I'm like, tell you who the villain is. And it's just
You are
like,
correct. That is what it does in Universes Beyond sets, and also in Magic the Gathering.
you cannot
usually.
take a universe that is signified by a 4 of a thing and attempt to apply it to a game where there is 5 of a thing and expect everything to get that distributed evenly and fairly. And then you're like, but what if we use black mana to represent the villains? And you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. We've done it 100 times.
Easy.
Zula's
you know what?
Grixis, Mean Girl Supreme. We're all good. It's just fucking whatever. Who cares?
Call out the individual wins when I see them. Master Splinter is a black card and objectively not a villain.
I do like that.
Master Splinter is a black card because he is tied because rats, as we all know, are tied intrinsically with sewers and black mana.
Yep.
The sewers, if you want to stock up your black mana ley lines, you go to New York, you find a manhole, and you crawl down that shit.
That is true.
So we don't
Even on
advise doing
Kamigawa,
this.
it's the back alleys, it's the dark places in the city streets that you go to charge your black mana.
Oh my god. Anyway.
We've seen it on basic lands, my guy.
Yeah, no, you're not
It's
wrong.
You're
textually
getting
represented.
imagine
We've
getting
also seen
imagine
pizza
getting
on basic
mugged.
land, so-
Imagine getting mugged while you're just trying to charge your ley lines.
Brother, I am just charging ley lines here.
Yeah, you're like, what are you, fucking a student under the Sorcerer Supreme? What the fuck is a Sorcerer Supreme? I'm a Planeswalker. Whatever, nerd. All right.
Penna, I miss you.
God, yeah, no kidding, huh? All right. The Commander bracket update happened.
True. That happened. Moving on.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about that.
Frankly,
No,
I also kind of don't, but if you want to read some things.
I mean, honestly, I still couldn't tell you what the changes were actually about, besides they didn't put tutors as part of, like, a restriction or something. I don't fucking know.
They released Vorinclex and Jin Gitaxis from the Game Changer list.
Yeah, that one was a little more interesting, I think is worth talking
It did
about.
make it harder for me to find quality bracket 2 games, I will say that.
Yeah,
You don't
MTGO.
like your know this, that, or the other thing game lobbies.
I love getting those from
The
you.
most recent game lobby description that I posted was literally bracket 2 minus the commanders that were recently freed from the Game Changers list because you can, air quotes, see them coming because you literally cannot on MTGO.
Yeah, people show up and be like, I'm playing this deck, and you're like, ah, fuck.
And then they reveal mono blue Urza and put him in the command zone, and it's just like, my guy, I thought we were okay.
Thought we were chill.
So, they've updated some of the definitions on the brackets. They removed tutoring restrictions. They've removed more than a few things off of the Game Changer list. High mana value stuff like Expropriate, Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur, Sway of the Stars, and Vorinclex Voice of Hunger. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. I still don't really see some of these cards, if at all. Legends that are strong as the zone that were taken off. Kinnan Bonner Prodigy, Urza Lord High Artificer, Winota Joiner of Forces, and Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow. And I saw a bunch of people be like, what the fuck is this? And then the other two cards that were removed were Deflecting SWAT and Food Chain, which, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't fucking care. Things that apparently that were looked at or discussed was Consecrated Sphinx, Coalition Victory, and Panoptic Mirror. And I don't know what happened to me mentally, but for some reason I already thought Coalition Victory was unbanned for some reason.
I also thought it was unbanned.
Or was it unbanned?
I think it was unbanned, and they're looking at removing it from the Game Changers list.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I don't know about coalition victory. I will say I would personally be somewhat disappointed if a game ended that way.
Well, I
like,
did see that happen with a dragon-based enchantment. So if you're disappointed with that...
I also was kind of disappointed in that card, Cole. Yes, luckily, I don't see either of these cards because most people that I play with have the good sense to not play them.
All right, I gotta send this to Brandon. So then they went on to talk about a few different cards that they were thinking of looking at. Thassa's Oracle, Rhystic Study, something about hybrid mana, which no, and no. Please don't do that. I beseech you. We have friends on the panel. We could make a strong case to not do that.
You know what? I don't think I can say that on a podcast.
Okay, well we'll get you in. We'll get you in on it. The long and short of it is what I gotta say is like you can't just rip out the guts of a fan-made format and be like it's fine. Like we're not playing the same format anymore. That's the way I look at it. There's a reason why they've had this rule. My friend was I'm gonna spec on Beseech the Queen, and I said, shut the fuck up. Like, no, you're not.
Let me play Garuda in my Jeskai deck, Cole.
I'm shooting you with a gun.
I want you to know the only change that I will be making if this goes into effect is I will be adding one of Manamorphose to most of my decks that contain red or green, because that is the only that's the level of I will be adding a Manamorphose to Teval, and then you can tell me whether that change is appropriate or not.
Yeah.
I also think I will say here's my one take, and then we can shut up about it forever. If we are changing the hybrid mana rule in such a way, then I'm going to aggressively lobby that we change the tooltip rule in the other way, so you can only have your firebending cards in black and red. And Extort, I guess Extort doesn't actually functionally change because all of the Extort cards are in hybrid. Black and white already.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Cryptcast is a mono black card.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, whatever. That one's fine. But you know what? Any of the other ones?
Make an exception for Cryptcast. I'm pelting you with tomatoes.
No, we're not. I mean, we're not making an exception. We're saying if the hybrid mana rules changed that way, then the tooltip would naturally work as it already does because of other reasons.
At the end of the day, there is a reason that people advocate for Rule Zero conversations if you're willing to do something that goes beyond the rules of the format.
Correct.
And that's why Fitz, for example, he made that Yannette and Obosh deck.
Obosh.
Where cool, you're playing Yannette that only cares about odd mana value stuff anyway, and I guess you punch harder with Yannette. That is not that offensive.
Ooh, Cole, I do have a soapbox for you now that I think about it.
Okay, do we want to lock that in for later? Because
yeah, we'll lock it in for later. It's gonna make you really mad.
Just gotta enter Zen Cole state. I have to start de-sleeving decks as we play. I need to reach that nirvana now.
Gotta go find those monk's robes.
I gotta,
getting close to the new year.
Babe. Oh, that shit ain't happening. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway. Let's go have brews off the shelf, huh?
Yeah.
Unless people want to have a break and come back, or bathroom run. No.
I'm all right.
I am gonna run and get more water, but feel free to continue while I do that, because it'll take me literally 3 minutes, if that.
Future Cole edited out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, go for it. So hey, I haven't been making new decks. I guess I made that Omega deck, but I don't know about what you two have been coming up with. What do you got going on, Light?
Well, after completing my Great Ishtola pilgrimage from February to last month, I took a bit of a break where I wasn't really building a whole lot, but the most recent thing that I have, my new journey, has been the Great Jund pilgrimage. I am trying to find a Jund deck that speaks to me, that has something interesting to do. Because the things that speak out to me the most in building commander decks are nuance and niche interactions and the ability to pull off trick shots or do something cool. And I like having a lot of gears to turn when I'm building a deck. The Jund problem is that the color identity really, really, really loves to play a creature, sacrifice a creature, and draw a card.
Yeah.
And that means that it is harder to find weird things to do when the color identity is so consistently on one game plan. As a wedge. My most recent attempt was I'm tweaking a Corvold Gleeful Glutton deck. That's Corvold 2.0, not the number one Corvold. And really right now I'm just playing with Earthbending and Firebending, and seeing how they interact with one another, how they play out in practice, and trying to figure out what is it that I actually want to do with them by just taking the same 20 cards and like playing another 20 cards around them to figure out which other 20 cards actually fit the best. We're learning things. I don't know if I have notes to share with you. I did get to hit Medusa with the Balrog of Moria the other night, which was deeply funny.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
It is a good feeling. I threw Draconine on it, swung for 11, felt nice.
I was like, I think as soon as you cast it, I was like already modifying my life total. I'm like, I know it. I already see the writing on the wall. You don't have to say it. We already know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. So my very first deck was Narset Transcendent Master, and it became too strong, and I took it apart.
That checks out, yeah.
Corvold, the first one, Fakehurst King, was my second really boogeyman deck that I ever built that repeated the problem of becoming far too strong, and I had to take it apart. So there's a part of me that while I'm trying to build this deck is like, I don't want to get dragged back into building the same deck that I did like 5 or so years ago. Because
that's definitely fair.
Yeah. We're figuring it out. I think there will be a cool Corvold Gleeful Glutton deck on the desk in 2 weeks.
I think that like Corvold Gleeful Glutton doesn't have as much like runaway value potential as Corvold. Corvold, the first one. While at the same time, I think it really has some more interesting levers and buttons to kind of pull and press. So I have faith that you'll have something cool on my desk in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he puts +1/+1 counters. Earthbending puts +1/+1 counters. That's an interesting point. He cares about all permanent types, which means I can care about planeswalkers in battles. That's interesting.
We've gotten to the Quinn on my desk in 2 weeks. Has become so ingrained that in the group chat, at least once they have represented it entirely with hieroglyphics.
Just emojis.
With just emojis. And we were all like, God damn it.
You've broken the term down to its bare essentials. Wow. Yeah. We even have a bunch of other people be like, yes, 2 weeks, I know, just like the phrase doesn't even need to be said. If Quinn is somehow sandwiched in this conversation thread, it's happening, you know? But yeah, Jund really is that, God, like I know I said it already where I'm like, Jund is just Simic, but you can burn people, I guess, or whatever, right? Like, but, and then I've already, like, kind of mentally just thought where I'm like you said, you sack something and you have a payoff, and it usually wants you to do something to your opponents when that thing dies or whatever, right? And then my immediate thought was, I'm like, oh God, it's just Orzhov, except Orzhov, you just sack and loop the same thing over and over again but like, I guess the difference is at least because of, yes, the third color, and I rag on you playing 3-color decks and all those other things. It's like the red and the black and the green can at least push the game to a conclusion, either by smashing someone in the face with something and then sacrificing it and then using a property or effect to inflict more damage upon a target or the board or whatever. And it's like, great, so you can
Yes,
end
we
the
all
game
love
like that.
Zeratora.
But yeah, and
They
but
are
then,
the three colors that most consistently make life totals go down.
yeah, the technology is pretty damn good, but it's like when I looked at the Jund Precon and I ragged on it, and Quinn's like, "Bitch, why you doing that?" And I'm like, because it's just fucking Jund. You sack lands, you get value, you put +1 counters on something when something dies. That, you know, and then
It is just fucking Jund.
you
but
ship
some
it.
people just like that. Some
I
people
know.
like to Jund them out.
I like to.
Some people are like, man, I sure do love Kresh the Blood Braided. I'm like,
I
yeah.
love
Crash
to
is
cast my
sweet.
fucking.
I'm very excited for whatever this new Jund Precon from Lorwyn is going to be, because it's got like a little goblin stirring a little pot of
I forgot
of
they were doing
stew.
another Jund one.
And there's a world I don't. The tagline made me think that this is a persist combo deck, which I cannot imagine being a precon, but it does look that way.
I mean,
Because it says what? It literally says the tagline for this one is -1/-1 counter, or -1/-1 drain, unleash creature combos. And like, are you telling me that they're gonna put a whole ass like murderous red cap?
They're not gonna put a murderous or red cap in there. There's no fucking way. But there's
it will be
probably
part of the
a way
upgrade.
that they will
We're
put a
time-
4 or 5 card combo in there. The way that they hit you with the Hullbreaker Horror and 2 mana
Yeah.
rocks combo in the Fairies Precon.
Yeah, we're gonna put a timestamp on that. Watch them just go. They put a whole ass murderous red cap combo in there.
I mean, if they do, then I will fucking salute, I guess.
I just
All
know
right.
that the Scorpion God players are on watch right now. They really need a dub.
They
One of
do
my
need a
friend-
W
one of my
right now.
friend
It is really
plays,
rough to be a -1/-1 counters mage right now.
I have
Yeah.
always wanted there to be a commander that like let Hepatra and Scorpion God hold
And Scorpion
hands
hold
in
hands.
unholy matrimony. I
I
don't
would
think that I
love
actually
that.
wanted the answer to come out of a precon though, so I don't know how I feel about that yet. We'll see what the
We'll
cards
see.
do.
At least it wasn't a
see.
secret layer.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Jaws
Or
mentioned.
like one of those like secret layer, like, oh, okay, the card that lets Hepatra and Scorpion God hold hands is like, I don't know, Seinfeld. Like, oh my god.
Throw
what
that
the
fucking
fuck?
slap bass in there.
But Bill, cut it.
Jared, you're not gonna
DMCI,
believe what's going on
it's-
here. And in there, they're holding -1/-1 counters.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Speaking of secret
Yeah.
layers, I was waiting in the queue to try to get that. I did try to get the Ghost of Tsushima one, but damn, that thing fucking sold out so quick. I'm so mad.
Right.
Yeah, I hear people really like that Jin Sakai character.
It's pretty cool. All right. Let's go to Quinn.
Yeah, I have an appropriate amount of notes for each of these, and I guess which one do y'all want to hear about?
Yeah, I mean, what is the one? You got like 3 very different ones here. I'm voting for mono red, but I don't know about the 2 of you.
What is this commander?
Oh, here we go. I think we need to talk about this one.
Queen Brawny? What is this? I don't think I've ever heard of this name in my life.
There's
Why do I
probably a
feel like
reason
it's a
why.
Spider-Man universe or within card?
No, she's a
You'd
Final
be
Fantasy IX
incorrect.
Blorbo.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, this is a Final Fantasy. Yeah, I did not keep up with that set as much as every other Magic player under the sun.
I'm
so
pretty
tell me
sure-
about this.
The only person who cares about this card is in the room with us right now.
Oh my god, what is this
Oh,
art?
I've drafted this
Oh
card
my
plenty
God.
of times as like a work.
Yes,
this is
just
going
a,
to. This is a
workhorse
Smurf.
card.
exactly. She just
fucking
prints out black
Smurf.
mages, and she
Or
just
like those
does a
trolls.
solid job in your limited deck and fills out your
Or-
curve and makes more black mages for you to block with, or to make your like burn spells or whatever go further.
You put her
She's
in the command
incredible.
zone?
I put her in the command zone.
Christ. Okay,
All right, Quinn,
tell us
hit
about
us
her.
with it. We need to know.
I need I'll explain what I'm cooking here. So the thesis is to port the Pro Tour Final Fantasy winning mono red prowess deck to EDH. And we're going to use the Black Mage technology to make our damage go further and have that small mono red aggro game plan scale to the inflated 40 per player life totals of Commander.
Yeah.
So with that, do I sound like I'm fucking bananas?
Always.
Does this make sense?
I mean,
Sorry, at this point, listen, we've already previously established that when everyone else is whining and bitching and complaining about this format, about how Commander sucks and Magic's being ruined, you're over here in the corner burning the fucking brightest, being like, but what if it was fucking cool though? And you just fucking do it. Like,
I need to look into Black Mage technology more. I was kind of starting to look into it with Teval when I was going for like more of a spellslinger angle, but there's not a whole lot of Black Mage technology in black, funny enough.
Yeah. Quinn, hit us with the deck list too while you're at it, because we need to. I need this for reference. But like,
Right,
I already
see
the Pro Tour list here, and I see they're playing Twin Moss Stormblood in this thing. Holy shit!
Yeah, you can cast just the Omen spell.
The
with
Omen
red
spell
mana,
to
and
deal
that's what they're
5.
using.
Yeah, got it.
Could not care less about the dragon.
Fantastic! Cool.
I have this mental image, and this deck tracks so far with what I expect. Where there is the two-sided coin of Quinn and me as deck brewers, where I feel like there is a likewise dedicated energy to the art of it. But whereas I spend my time in some kind of garage library hybrid, just poring over all of the cards that have ever existed, Quinn is out in the woods communing with the spirits of red and black mana.
The only image light I'm immediately thinking of that freaking douchebag who's like, here in my garage with my Lamborghini, and you know what I like? Books. And like that is your playground of deck brewing. And then we see Quinn speaking in tongues, eyes glowing, sitting in a face circle.
I'm fucking floating over a volcano, fucking inhaling all of those fumes, and I'm turning those visions into deck lists.
Damn, do you smell that sulfur? It's Quinn. Watch out.
Meanwhile, I feel like I'm in like a Faustian, like Victorian basement, inscribing sigils in my own, like, complex mathematical sigils in my own blood while mumbling about Delve.
It's the fucking art of ad nauseum. You're the art of ad nauseum.
Yeah, and then I make the circle, and then I chant the like Latin, and then a fully formed, fully sleeved deck with a Moxfield list just appears. It has like a deck and a QR code.
I found the Spider-Man universes within card. It's here.
I do have that in here.
Do? Oh, it's this one. Okay.
Fulcrum is the interdimensional web watch, I think.
Yep, it is.
Oh, yeah. Caster Exile, yeah.
A lot of my card advantage in the deck is the low to the ground, exile these cards into it's impulse draw, and I focused on that because they show you more cards per mana spent if you have temporary access to them. Mm-hmm. And my curve is low enough that I can, even though I only have temporary access, usually get through all of the things that we exile. And so Reality Fulcrum, I always think is like a 4 mana draw 2 that discounts the spells that draws, but in this deck it also is just a Sisei's Ring that draws 2, which is even better.
And look at
I need to look into this deck a little more for some
tropes here. So some of my like construction things that we went on was step 1, import the deck list 1-to-1. So I really just like went to the magic.gg deck list for the Pro Tour Final Fantasy, found Ken Yukihiro's deck list and copied and pasted that into here, and then the 4 ofs we like swapped for cards that performed similar functions, and we added in the Black Mage technology, and then fleshed out the deck with some pieces that would like help it scale to the like 4-player 40 life format of Commander. We added more card advantage because you need that if the game is going to go longer. And we added some more just like bomb creatures because you need that if you're going to play Commander. You have to chunk through so much life Summon Bahamut is my big one of those, and it is one of my Queen Brana roleplay experience cards, because we also spent a lot of time playing Final Fantasy IX, and she's one of the main antagonists of that game in the first, like, third or so. And Her Majesty uses basically weapons of mass destruction in her conquest of Gaia in Final Fantasy IX, and we simulate that by playing the fucking Dawnsire and ways to send that damage upstairs. Namely, we got Brash Taunter and we got Pain for All. So I'm gonna send that fucking 100 damage laser to a Brash Taunter, and then from there to someone's face. That'll be satisfying for me to achieve. We can also summon summons like Bahamut and GF Cerberus and Esper Valagarmanda and Esper Ramu. And she in the game did big crime to get them, and then used them to do big crime. So it's all in
Hello,
theory.
911, the Geneva
Final Fantasy
Conventions.
IX are pretty actually just really bad things. Esper Ramu is actually good in this deck. I'm fucking
I'm glad you found a home for it.
Chat.
You were
Yes,
like,
I've been trying to find a home for this deck forever. It's not a whole lot of value anywhere outside of Wizard Typal. But if you are playing Wizard Typal, the shit rips. It turns all of my black mages into actual creatures that are allowed to attack.
Heck yeah.
And the first chapter burns something for the number of non-creature, non-land cards in my graveyard to target creature. So I can just like cast all of my burn spells or my draw spells, and then cast this guy, ETB, burn a thing. And then the chapter after that, I got my black mages and we're going wide and pushing for damage.
Heck yeah.
I like that the deck basically cuts off at 4 drops, but you still have 39 lands in the deck. There are weaker mages and lesser deck builders who would look at this curve and say, oh, it's just 34 lands is fine. And if you, the listener, think that that applies to you, I am insulting you.
But what if I flood? Play
I have to
more
hit my land drop
filtering.
every turn. If you're playing Commander, you lose the game if you do not do that, and we will do everything that it takes to do that. I also, if I'm going to exile a bunch of fucking cards and a lot of those end up being lands, then like that's fine. We can just send those into exile. No harm, no foul. I don't care. They're also easy things to pitch to Faithless Looting, which I'm not on in this deck, but if I was a Faithless Looting gamer, they would be just like, I will draw
lands?
this, there
Get
are
rid
these
of
2
them.
lands, and I'm yeeting them.
Yep. I can get behind that. This list is so freaking crazy.
Yeah, how does all of this translate into gameplay experience? Great question. It literally does feel like I'm playing the lower curve aggressive mono red deck from a 60 card format, and we do have the increased reach to the inflated life totals of the commander format thanks to the black mages. It is a little tough when people get their dragons down and their dinosaurs, and you have to try and chunk through that with your 2-1 with prowess. So I think I need to probably weave in some extra combats or something and get to the point where you do not get to cast your dragons, or I just lose the game at that point.
You must simply outrace the Vaultborn Tyrant.
Yeah, it's literally that. Like, I'm playing aggro, I need to just like be playing aggro, and the way that we do that in Commander is probably to play more extra combats and play like a Torbrand or something like that. I don't remember if I put Perforos in here, but I think that would also be a very good call, because all of my just like triples all of my damage basically, because all my 1/1s enter, they make the 2 damage trigger for Perforos, and then they can hit for 1 damage.
Yeah, Torbrand, honestly, you put those 2 in, you probably fix a lot of those like mid-end game issues. Oh my god, Cypher's in the list! He actually does something!
Cypher's actually really strong here, because I can, using his trigger, give Queen Brana double strike, which is very important for her, making her an actual threat. And then Cypher himself can attack and cast the spells from my graveyard that I have yeeted for whatever purpose.
What was I going to say here? I was going to say this deck very much reminds me of my Captain Ripley Vance deck. It's just that you're spreading out the bodies to deal the damage, and I just have
and
Vance
you're putting it all on one punch babe.
Yeah, which I guess I should probably put Gazul's Fury in that list now that I'm thinking about it, because just finding more and more ways to just fuck people up.
Yeah, good card that.
How many, I'm just curious, how many, like, what's the highest number of black mages have you gotten to in this list?
I think I've gotten to 3 black mages, and by that point, people are like, okay, you have to stop, because you're casting 2 spells, and it's like, take 6.
Yeah, Torbrand's gonna go fucking nuts in this list.
Yeah, Torbrand would go fucking hard here. You're so right.
Wait, hold on. Torbrand says red source, right?
Yeah, there are other Torbrand adjacent things that you can do.
Okay. Perforos, go.
Okay. Yeah, Perforos is going to be a good damage modifier, and then something that just like agnostically modifies my damage. Like I have a Twin Flame Tyrant, but another one of these would.
Do you have a Spiked Quarter?
Fuck is that?
Not on MTGO. That one is stupid fucking expensive for no reason.
On MTGO. Yeah, that is the one that I go with in Valgavoth usually. There's like another adjacent one to that. I just can't think of what exactly it is right now.
I might have just like straight up Furnace of Wrath, and I'm a bad enough babe to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dictate of the twin.
There
gods,
maybe there may be a class or a talent that does it, but I'm not quite sure.
There is a talent. I don't think I have that one there because it is similarly like the fucking staple enchantments from precons are weirdly expensive on MTGO because the acquisition method is by the precon.
Right.
Which, you're definitely not going to be doing that anytime soon for one
mono
red
it's like $40
deck.
for JPEGs, and I'm just like, I'm okay on that one.
Yeah. I don't know. This looks pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I love it.
I do think it's got some room for adjustments to make the games, like, make me actually able to close games, but I'm having a lot of fun playing it, and it does actually put up numbers.
Mission status sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Who's up next?
Medusa.
Yeah, hi. I don't know if I have anything super new. I'm kind of like in between brews at the moment. There will be a Teval 2.0 brood coming. I can talk more about that a little later. As far as like actual decks that are constructed and put together and I'm playing with, I guess we can just go back into Marchesa because we had a banger of a game yesterday. So for those not in the know, my Queen Marchesa deck is essentially Mardu cards I like. But even when we're talking about like kind of more generic decks like that, I do tend to like to build in themes. So one of the big themes of Marchesa is we are trying to always get her out on turn 3 or 4. Because she is a Phyrexian Arena, so she is going to smooth us into the rest of the game. And so to facilitate that, the deck runs a bunch of MDFCs. With MDFCs, it is running 44 lands. It is also running a large number of land cyclers. So things like Troll of Khazad-dûm and Gloomfang Mauler.
Notorious
and,
Banned and Legacy card, Troll of Khazad-dûm.
Yeah.
Fucking...
And my favorite Bedhead Beastie, which is the Duskborn guy that just has a bed, like literally as a hat. It's so cute. Because he's trying to hide under it, because in Duskborn, the Beasties are like friendly and helpful. And they heard that monsters hide under beds. So he's just trying to be a good monster. And it's so cute, and I want to give him a pet. But anyway, so, like, part of the deck is just, like, pitch, hit all my land drops consistently, and then play, like, I have, like, Unburial Rites and stuff in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're playing a game, literally the 4 of us. And EQ over here is very terrifying.
Doing criminal activity. The IRS would like to know my location, and I am simply not picking up the fucking phone. I have dragons.
You go like 3 Sisay's rings, essentially Sisay's rings in a row, into Dracu Seth Maw Flames, and we're all like, uh-oh. And so like... Over here, it's like the one Community gif where like Donald Glover's returning with
walking
pizza,
in with the
pizzas. And everything's on fire. Like a gun goes off. Like people are like fight. Like someone's on the ground, like bleeding. Like so I'm just over here, you know, with my pizzas, you know, pitching my cards, hitting my land drops, being the monarch. but I'm not really doing anything compared to everyone else. And then I go, hey, Living End.
Yeah, that fucked all of that up.
Yeah, and this was the moment that I alluded to earlier where everyone had no open mana except for Quinn, and so I went, it's probably fine.
It was. That's not the kind of thing that I had interaction for. I have like one counter spell in the deck.
Yeah,
and
I
it
checked
is
your
not,
deck list later.
Not in my hand.
had I had been smart enough, or actually had like a negate in hand or something, it would have been pretty great to play. But I was playing Captain Howler, like being like, I drew a lot of cards that game. Like I was punching people in the face. I was doing pretty okay, and it was like nothing. I got jack shit for whatever Medusa's doing over in the corner. Just
what I need to do is get a fucking 6 mana uncounterable counterspell and put that in the deck. Just
absolutely.
Flex on people.
I
So-
love 5 and 6 mana counterspells.
So anyway,
So does Cole.
So anyway, I start blasting.
Yeah.
I have Kroxa and Kunaros, which has Menace, Vigilance, and like. So wait,
Lifelink.
actually, let's just like what. So my board after this Living End is Fear of Missing Out with 2+1/+1 counters on it. Which
important.
is the Delirium. It gives you it untaps one of your guys and gives you an extra combat step. I have Scourge of the Throne, another notable anti-combat step, extra combat step enabler. And then I have Troll of Khazad-dûm with Super Menace, that Dragon Plane Cycler with Eternalize that has flying, Gloomfang Mauler with regular Menace, and then Kroxa and Kunaros over here with Vigilance and regular Menace. So
And Lifelink,
when I
which
move
is
to my attacks, I get 2 combat steps with this board of essentially just super Menace. Everything has Menace or flying. And then I get an additional attack after that with my Kroxa. So my Kroxa gets to attack 3 fucking times.
This is a problem.
Pretty
Because we
tough.
fucking died.
Yeah. And in short order, people got mopped the fuck up.
Yeah, not much to do
Fucked
about
up.
it. Sometimes
Kingdom
people
for
have it.
Containment Priest.
Yeah, keep that thing on you, Keep, what's that black spell that you can pitch something? It'd be like anything that entered.
Force of Despair.
Yeah, just go Force of
I
Despair and
love
be like,
Force of
yeah.
Despair.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
I
started
would
adding-
not. Dreams.
I would
adding
be
that
so
more.
hyped. I would have been so hyped to get got by a Force of Despair. That would have been so funny.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
No.
I think my best bet is like Mystic Reflections to say that the creatures that enter that turn and
Are
is
something,
Llanowar Elf.
something else. Yeah, just be like,
Yeah.
oh, you're just a
Yeah.
dude. You're just a guy.
But yeah, I think that everyone's interaction had kind of been spent on other scary things at that point too, and I'm just over
Yeah,
here
sorry
like,
for yeeting Avengers level threats at you and distracting from Medusa. My fucking bad.
Yeah,
Just
it's
think about your actions next time.
But yeah, so I got the best fucking living death of my life off, and Marchesa continues to be like just a really consistent play experience. The deck is really good at just kind of having like a very like, I wouldn't even say a super high ceiling. It just has like a pretty mid-high ceiling, but like a very, very high floor.
Love
Like
a
the deck
high
is
floor
always gonna cast Marchesa on turn 4, draw me at least 1 card and make me assassins. So like, you kind of can't go too wrong with it. It always plays well. It always, even when it doesn't win, it always feels like I get to put up a fight of some sort with that deck.
well. I think Queen Marchesa is like that kind of thesis statement of you got the card engine that creates a different dimension to the game because Monarch is just really that cool effect. And then you're like, okay, now if I don't have it, I'm starting to make these bodies that people don't want to deal with. It turns out 1/1 Death Touch Assassins tend to do the work for you in terms of like
Yeah.
deterring non-flyers and all this other stuff. It's just like, okay, what can we do with this? Why is this deck at 98 cards? This is going to be a problem for later. That's probably it. Anyway, so there's just a lot of things about this type of deck of like, it's resilient. it feeds its own engine, and at one point or another, everyone starts squabbling over the fucking trying to be the monarch, and you're like, cool. It is now time to deploy the contingencies, and then you just start bringing a bunch of crazy shit back, and they gotta fucking deal with it, and that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's a cool deck. What can I say? It's largely, you know, there are those sub themes in there of like the pitching and reanimation, but largely it is Mardu cards I enjoy playing.
I can get behind that. I can sign off on that, no problem. Oh,
Hell yeah.
Big behind that as well.
You know, there's faithless looting in the deck. If anyone like really knows me, you know that I used to play modern Mardu Pyromancer. We've got faithless looting and
lingering
seasoned
souls.
Pyromancer.
You got a Bedlam Reveler in there?
I unfortunately don't have Bedlam Reveler in there. I would love to be able to fit that in, but unfortunately, Mardu, you have to make a pretty dedicated Spellslinger deck for Bedlam Reveler to be worth it, unfortunately.
Like, that devil is on the top of my list, and I'm like, okay, can I do this? What's the saturation? And it's like, I don't got it.
That one...
I should play that in Her Majesty.
Yes,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, you should
That's
definitely.
The deck for it.
You're like, oh, I got no cards in hand except for Bedlam Reveler.
That one and Capricious Hellraiser are cards that I really want to put in a deck someday, but I just haven't had like the right. There's such
Spellslinger requirement.
Finicky. Yeah, there's especially Capricious Hellraiser. They're just such like finicky cards that don't typically pair well with the types of decks that I make for commanders. So we'll see.
If you want that without the requirements, get you an Ox of Agonis in your life, and shout out to Agnes DA, the Ox fan in the chat.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
That card was also one that I played in Modern for a bit after some of the shakeups with like the first Modern Horizons set. That card is disgusting.
Yeah, I play that in a bad Timeless Phoenix deck. It was just like, we're doing the Blue-Red Phoenix from 60 card formats, but also I have a cow because I like that card.
It does the work. It does the job.
Yeah.
All right. Let me bring up Mr. the Speed Demon.
Mr. the Speed Demon. Wow.
Mr. the Speed Demon. Hey, do you remember this guy from Aether Drift? You know, that set about like racing across 3 different planes?
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, didn't I do like a vibe-based storytelling for that one? I do not remember what episode that came on.
Small guy shortcuts. I can't
Little
remember.
Guy Shortcuts.
Little guy shortcuts. There we go.
Okay,
yeah. So you did tell it. Go listen to that. I love it when Quinn does vibes-based storytelling. Hey, what happened with Spider-Man? I don't fucking know. What happened with Edge of Eternities? Oh, let me tell you. No, I know there isn't a story. I'm kidding. But so anyway, I decided to take the Speed Demon for a ride because this dude is fucking sweet. 5 mana, 5/5, flying and trample. It's a demon. Yeah. I'm not going to acknowledge that. Start your engines. If you have no speed, it starts at 1, and then every time when an opponent loses life on your turn, it goes up by 1. The max speed is 4. At the beginning of your end step, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is your speed. I probably should bring up what the pod dynamic was, so I'll get that in a second here. But I had been sitting on this guy for a while because the unfortunate thing is, when you're like, if I can draw 1 to 4 cards at the end of my turn, that means I can draw into answers for my opponent's bullshit, like targeted removal. So that it's kind of slowly ends up becoming the targeted removal deck, which could be a little problematic.
Ew.
Yeah. Let me just triple check Speed Demon. So, I got to play it in a 6-player game.
You what?
No, 5-player game, excuse me. Hey, we've done 6-player. I've talked about this before. Anyway, 5-player game. My opponents were... What the fuck is this? Sorrel? I can't read. Oh, the Jun Precon Bug Dude. Sig River Cutthroat. Cross, the dude from New Capenna that does like shield counter stuff and goading people, which is really fucking annoying. And sure, John Benton, the fuckhead from fucking Doctor Who. I fucking hate this dude. You and your
For
opponent
somebody who loves a Frost Titan, you have a lot of things to say about decks that similarly remove agency via goad.
John, okay, I'm not talking about Cross. I'm not talking about him. I know what that dude
You
is
were
up to.
complaining about him.
No, I'm Sir John Benton. That fucking guy from Doctor Who. Fuck that
Yeah,
card.
no,
Fuck
you have
that
complaints
deck.
about him. You have a lot of things to say about a lot of guys, actually.
Actually, are you just figuring this out now? We've been doing this for 2 years, Quinn.
Wait, is John Benton, is that whenever he deals combat damage, you and that player draw that many cards?
Correct,
Am I thinking of the right one? Yeah. Okay.
They
Yeah,
says
from what
this
I've
is a
heard,
group
this
hug
one
deck.
gets
This is not a group
insanely
hug
out of
deck.
hand.
So
This is a Pump Spells Voltron deck wearing group hug camouflage.
Yeah, it's Xyrus and
yeah.
Selesnya.
Yes.
If I am the guy playing the Speed Demon, drawing a bunch of cards at the end of my turns for targeted removal, John Benton is the interaction on the stack to prevent John Benton from just biting it. I'm like, I gotta get rid of your commander. And they're like, no. I will do the thing. Yeah.
I'm on every fucking green and white target creature gets indestructible and hexproof until end of turn.
Exactly.
And a +1/+1
And a
counter.
+1/+1 counter. Don't forget the +1/+1 counter. That's the important part.
the important part, because otherwise I'm not beating your ass fast or hard enough. Anyway, so you sit on a bunch of cards like I do with this deck, and it's like, okay, I have a demon in the command zone, so I need to put demons in this deck.
Extremely normal behavior.
Yeah, I gotta put Blood Gift Demon on for Ministrad because that dude looks fucking cool. Put in a Abhorrent Overlord because who doesn't like making black harpies equal to your devotion to black? It's pretty
Love
sick.
Does
some
actually
Abhorrent
rule.
Overlord.
Valgavoth? Is there a Valgavoth? We're looking for
Is there a
Valgavoth.
Absolutely fucking not. No,
Valgavoth
get that evil
costs
out of
like
my
$20
life.
or some shit.
I don't know. Does it? Probably.
Print it
I
out
don't
with
know.
a
actually know.
print it out with a printer. Play Valgavoth. That's my
Like-
that's
Cole
my
wants
message.
to touch real cardboards with visible holofoil stamps.
This
Listen,
actually,
I
this
know.
is
I can't
true.
free him from that either.
Look,
Cole is not getting a proxy care package around Christmas like the rest of you, I see.
He
Yeah.
still wants it, but your man likes real cards.
I feel like it could go over to someone else who wants it more than me.
The Blood Drip guy is not passing the vibe check.
Yeah, look. My relationship with printers is one thing, and that's not a discussion for this podcast. But at the same
I
time,
read Do
you mean by
Androids Dream
that?
of Electric Sheep.
it
I
also
understand.
means I can look at a card like Valgavoth and be like, wow, I don't like these cards, so I just don't get them. And then I look at their price points, I'm like, I'm definitely not getting them. No printer is going to save me from that, so I just
You
don't
could
get them.
simply look at the card and say, I don't like this card, so I won't play it, and have that be the end of the discussion. We don't even have to bring money into this.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Simply
just
wrong. How could you not like Valgavoth?
Exactly. How could you not like Valgavoth?
Well,
He's
you
my
see,
little
you
mommy
look at this
son.
really cool, plain consuming, well, plain, but really like a giant fucking modular house that's the back rooms, the world. Both really cool
No, it ain't the
concept.
plan.
And then you look at the Rakdos one and you're like, actually, I hate this guy. This is fucking terrible.
No, I looked at him and I said,
I like
actually,
that
I love
guy.
him even more.
Yeah, but
He's my special Blorbo.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
He's my
I also
special
like the
Blorbo, and I
nine-man
have this
Valgavoth.
Volcarona to represent him as well.
I bullied one of my
Nice.
friends to take apart the deck. So
And my tokens for this deck is this deck only makes one type of token, and it's the actually that Spiked Quarter card that we were talking about earlier. It's the devil from that
The
card.
devils?
It's a Chainsaw Man.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hey, there you go.
It's a random Chainsaw Man trading card that one of my friends gave to me.
you somehow accumulated, yeah.
Yeah, one of my
Medusa and I
friends gave it
just
to me.
holding hands while we brandish our variously decorated moth-decorated knives.
Yeah.
The
You're
important
not-
thing about Valgavoth, though, is you can reanimate him on turn 4 in Standard with Valgavoth's Faithful and use that to fucking crush the Blue-Red Cauldron deck because they can't fight through a ley line.
Good thing I don't
pretty
pay attention
sweet.
to Standard, huh?
Anyway,
we were
yeah,
talking about
anyway.
your special interest demon. Sorry, Cole.
No, it's just, hey, you like the Moth Demon, and I'm like, cool, anyway. Here's the lamp. Can you go into that really bright, fiery lamp for me? Thank you.
I love lamp.
Brother, I crave the light.
You
Anyway.
can see me chasing the lamp as evidenced by the density of firebending cards in my deck.
Yeah.
True.
So, yes, I got a bunch of demons in this deck. I felt it was pretty appropriate, so I got, like, Reaper from the Abyss and Harvester of Souls, and then I realized I had Arden the Usurper, and I'm like, wait,
Yeah, I was gonna say, you've got one of my favorite recent demon support cards, Arden the motherfucking Usurper. This guy,
What a guy.
you slam that down and games are over.
Yeah, so, had to go in the deck. Rando Starscream Power Hungry, because I was like, I don't know,
sure.
I'm gonna
Fuck
put
it.
the fucking dude in here, whatever. The other cards, of course, consists of a bunch of instant and sorceries that usually involves killing something in some way, shape, or form. I apologize for nothing. I also got a few counter spells in here because I was
Killing
like,
Wave? What are we doing here?
I love Killing Wave. This shit
We
is
are
great. Are
getting-
you kidding me?
We are getting to turn 3 against you on Arena. We are pressing Escape, and we are pressing Concede. And going to the next game.
Fantastic. Anyway, I was just doing the work on the particular game that I had in this 5-player game where everyone's like, so what are you doing over there? I'm like, well, you took damage on my turn, so I'm now at speed 3. And they're like, how did you do that? I'm like, I don't know, I cast Momentum Breaker on like turn 2 or 3, and people are like, you're killing me here. I got one creature out. How could you do this to me?
Momentum
some of them
Breaker
in,
Legend.
Our victory.
in star games or whatever, the people who are beside you are your allies, and the two across from you are your enemies. But then your allies still get hit with the splash damage, and they're just like, but why? And I'm like, well, technically, I'm still supposed to win this game, and you're being really fucking annoying with that one thing, so I'm just gonna deal with this right now. But the rest of the deck is just like, I've sat on a lot of really cool mono black cards for a long time, and I'm like, this is going to be the Lich's Mastery. This is where I put Bitter Blossom. This is the one where I put
Like
Demonic.
your Graveborn foil anime dead? Holy shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
of fucking
I
course.
love-
I got that thing on me, of course.
I love
Flex.
Morlund, Devourer of Spiders.
Yeah.
Why
I
is
had to
he
put-
eating spiders?
I don't know why this is a vampire thing or why this is like a lore thing. Whatever. Don't care.
He's Spider's
Do you hear that?
Dorg.
I do. I hear the beep. Where's the beep coming from?
Is that me? No.
I don't know, dude.
I don't
I
hear
guess-
it, so maybe it's me, but I don't hear a beep IRL either.
I think that's
It is
you.
coming from you. There's like, when you speak, there is a high-pitched, like, mechanical beep sound.
I have no idea what that is. Let me check my... Nope, nothing has changed on my end, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Weird.
It might
As
just
long
be
as
my
it's-
chair moving.
No, I don't think so. I know you've been going back and forth in that thing for this entire thing, but I don't think it's that.
Huh.
Regardless.
It seems to
It's
have
not the end of the-
stopped for now.
Anyway, Morlund Devourer of Spiders is here to be a fucking fireball with lifelink.
Yeah, this dude
Yeah.
is sick. Also coming down as a big beater like later in the game. I was just like, yeah, you know what? Like, this dude's cool. We could put him in.
This is one of those cards that if you resolve in Spider-Man draft, you probably don't
You
lose
probably
that
just
game.
explode, yeah. I don't know. It's just that this was kind of a cool mix of things, and the speed demon's the way to coalesce it all together. And yes, I could probably ease off like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15 removal spells that I got in the deck.
Fuck it, it's a control deck. You have a guy with trample in the command zone. Just kill them.
Yeah, it works. It definitely fucking works.
I like Curtain's Call. That's a sweet one.
I love this card so much because people are like, "What?" And I'm like, I don't know, kill 2 things.
Is that the
For
Undead?
3
You can
mana.
also put
Kill
a
two
hand of
things.
Vecna in here and increase your killing intent, please.
Anyway, not much else to say about this deck. Just that I brought it out off the shelf, did a few upgrades just to add some spice to it. Did a good job. Hope to get some more reps in it soon because
Heck yeah.
it's cool.
I haven't gotten
Demon.
to play against this one yet.
Now, there's a few decks you haven't gotten a chance to play against yet. I got a lot to go.
Sometimes I'll listen to the podcast and you and Quinn will like talk about these like brews off the shelf, and I'll be like, I have never seen either
this.
of you play these decks. What are you keeping in reserve from me? What are you hiding from me over here?
I have
Like,
an
give me the
entire-
good stuff.
I have an entire Mox Field available for you to poke through. You can see them. They're
Yeah,
there, I
Cole
promise. Quinn puts them
being
Forever
like,
in the lab.
Cole being like, I have this exquisite mono black brew. You just have to follow me down into the back of my cellar.
Yeah, no big deal, right?
Yeah, just follow him to a second location.
Just
Yeah,
don't
already-
mind the demon lurking in the shadows. It's totally fine, you
Don't
know?
don't mind all these suspicious like bricks and bricklaying equipment here.
Totally okay.
All right.
Totally fine.
Light, before we go through the rest of this stuff, do you have anything else to mention in terms of games or brews or anything?
Do I? Yesterday I got to see 2 decks both at the same time introduce the speed mechanic one after another, and that restored some of my faith in humanity.
That is mission status sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One was
That's-
my friend KP was playing Sonic, and the other Adam was playing Teamer Pia. So
Teamer
both
Pia,
of them were
yeah,
very
yeah.
much on like
Teamer Pia.
speed thematic decks, like go fast with the
Mhm.
yeah. So that was cool. I realized that Sonic is actually a fucked up Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
really.
Sonic and Shadow are both pretty good, actually. I played Shadow the other day. He's gives your guys split second if you're casting them from artifact mana, but the important thing is actually if any of your fast boys die, you draw a card, which makes you card neutral on aggro, and if you're playing the kind of deck where creatures you control have haste, just like as a static, then you're card positive, probably.
Yeah.
Shit feels good.
Notably, the lands that get animated with Earthbend gain haste. So that's an
Yeah,
interesting thing to
that's-
think about.
Much to think about.
Much to think about. All right. I don't think I have too much else to offer, though.
Outside of you offering what you may have witnessed, either being subjected to Medusa's chicanery.
I swear to God, which the games that I've played this past week, I feel like I'm just going to start running 10 board wipes.
You're like, you know what? Someone's got to fucking do it because it's not you, and it's not so it's got to
it's
be me.
usually me.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
It is usually me.
It's my fault. I do be like, all right, I'm going to overextend directly into this board wipe and pass the turn. And
You
then you'll
did
be like,
say that.
What are you,
You
talking
literally
about?
did.
I don't have the board wipe. You literally did.
Okay, I didn't. Missy did, but whatever. That's a whole other thing. Quinn, hit us with another deck. I know between the two of these left, I don't know. Do we talk about Azula or do we talk about Ashling? What do we want? For time's sake, you know, like, what are we cutting down, you know?
Ashling is probably closer for time's sake. Let's just rock that. And then
And hey,
Azula
Medusa,
can
you
get
still got the soapbox on lock?
I've still got the soapbox on lock.
I can't believe
absolutely.
Ashling is a 2-mana card, and that when you flip it over from blue to red, you get both of the effects. Like,
Yeah.
what the actual fuck?
As it turns out that Lorwyn Eclipsed might be a 6 set. I don't know. But
I'm excited
see,
to see
okay.
the new Evoke
So I'm
Elementals.
going back through this list again after seeing that brief little window from the OBS preview screen and being like, that's a fucking red ass deck. Where's all the blue? Oh, there's a blue card. Oh, there's a blue card. Oh, okay.
It is primarily a red deck, yeah. So here's the thing. I completely turned my fucking brain off to construct this deck. We were like 5 or so minutes before a game, and I was like, wait, hang on. Is this a real deck yet? Not yet, but I can make it one. Give me a sec. And so the whole thing is just like Ashling gives you the 2 mana starting on turn 3, and every turn after that you cast a Sisay's Ring, and then you cast something that fucks up your opponent's day. In my case, I chose dragons. So I just like did a fucking construction section here. Damn near every Sisay's Ring, T:dragon, sort: EDH rec, ignore the ones that are annoying to me, add to cart.
Fantastic.
Tracker Seth Wall of Flames is a Magic the Gathering card that fucks your opponents up.
It really does,
Yeah.
and it still continues to do work. And you add anything that increases damage, gives it lifelink and or death touch, and you are really causing a problem
Even
to
a
everyone.
Strionic
Yeah, a lot of people are
Resonator.
like burning board states with Dracuseth, and I'm just like, I don't care. Upstairs, I'm gonna cut the length of this game in half.
Absolutely.
The bar is closing. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, so other choice dragons that I have are Goldspan Dragon, Bonehorde Dracosaur, Vengeful Ancestor, Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest, just all of the ones that you know and love from me smashing you in the face with them previously. I'm also on Wrathful Red Dragon, who I haven't had the pleasure of playing before. She will protect all of my dragons. I've got Twin Flame Tyrant to be the damage modifier, and who else is a dragon? Oh, Summon Bahamut? Sure, sounds good.
Yeah,
Get in
sure.
the cart.
Add that. Whoa. Effectively discounted by 2, so now you only have to pay 7 for it. Yeah, it seems pretty good.
I don't
The
want
usual suspects.
Summon Bahamut.
I don't want it to be left behind before we move too much further. Dinosaur mentioned.
No.
Yes,
Bonehorde Dracosaur, let's go.
Dinosaur mentioned. I wanted to give another thing that would be like a free value on top of my value so that I can value while I valued. So I put in basically every card that mattered that had Cascade on it. Figured that would also be another annoying thing for my opponents to deal with. So I'm on shit like Ethereum Horn Sorcerer, who will just like do that repeatedly. And then, yeah, like you were saying, Volcanic Torrent is a board wipe with Cascade, basically. I do a bunch of ramping and drawing cards, and then I cast Volcanic Torrent, and I deal X damage to each creature or planeswalker my opponent's control, where X is the number of spells that I've cast this turn. Really annoying experience for all of you to get just fucking collateral damaged in the name of advancing my game plan. I'm on Hit the Motherlode, which doesn't have Cascade, but it is a fuck huge spell that casts another free spell.
And also gives you treasures more likely than not.
Yeah, it also makes a bunch of tapped treasures if the thing
Oh my
is
god,
less
it can
than
hit
10.
Bahamut. What the fuck? Oh man,
Yeah.
Discover 10. That is scary.
I have a
pretty fucked.
thing real quick. Live reporting from the front, the Benoit doing the Lord's work, just posted in our group chat food chain and said another interesting and niche use of earthbending for food
If you
chain
saw-
because earthbending makes it so that if the land dies or is exiled, it comes back so you can feed your lands to food chain. That's
Future call. We need to
Earthbending is so
blacklist this
fucking
entire
busted.
thing, shut this thing down. This is beyond fucked up. I can't believe this.
All right, call in the cleanup crew.
We need to
We're done here.
we need to get rid of the evidence. We need to set in the hit squad to Benoit's house as we speak. We need to end this.
Rappelling through your window.
The Dai Li are on their way to Benoit's location as we speak.
You think they're like, we've claimed the food chain. Earthbend his house. Just go on. Oh, fuck. All right. What other cool banger high cost spells do you got in here that's just doing the work?
I figured I had the mana for it, so we're on fucking Elemental Masterpiece to just like make some elementals, and then we've got Call Forth the Tempest to be a cascade spell that's also a board wipe. I've got Magma Opus to be a big spell, and Creative Outburst to also be a big spell. They're also in the like category of look and put card advantage. I really like to look at the top 7 cards of my library, put some number of those into my hand and the rest somewhere else. So anything that lets me do that is cool. Helps me find the cards that are of the most value at that point in time. And then to round the deck out, we were like, oh, I should probably play like Interaction or something. So we searched O:"Destroy and then O:"Target and then mana value greater than 4 because I needed to ensure that I was flexing on you. So we ended up with Light of Judgment as one of these spells. From Final Fantasy. It's 5 mana to deal 6 damage to target creature and destroy up to 1 equipment attached to that creature.
That, I know there is a certain subset of this type of effect popping up now. Like, they're printing it more and more readily at the 5+ mana value rate.
Yeah, I like the 5 mana burn spell with upside to just like, and here, explode you.
Yeah, just fucking, yeah. And then you got like Ral's Outburst, Prophetic Bolt, fucking Incendiary Command, once again showing up in another deck where I'm like, this is actually kind of sick. I love seeing more and more of this card.
Yeah, I like to play commands and confluences. I should probably get the, one of the confluences in here that's a counterspell, because that's a chunky counterspell that I can afford.
Mystic Confluence, my beloved?
Sure, whatever. And then the red confluence, that's 6 damage to each opponent. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Are they reprinting that in Incendiary or whatever that one is? Yeah.
I don't remember. I think Lorwyn is famous for commands, so they're printing new ones. I have
for sure,
command in here, but I don't know if they're printing
Give us
confluences
the
again.
Boros one. I want to see it. I need to know it. I need it in my
I want to
life.
see. Do we think that we're getting all of the colors or just like a subset of 5 of them?
Probably just the 5 that are associated with the set.
I have a
like
feeling.
The Shocklands for.
I feel like, well, I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because I was hoping it was just going to be all enemy color.
Which Shocklands do we get? Just all the enemy Shockland combos, or
no? Because they didn't give the proper usual arrangement
they
for
didn't
Edge.
split it like that. They got weird with it.
Yeah,
how
they
did
were
they
like
split it? Because the Edge of Eternities had what, like black, white.
So they got Godless Shrine, and they got Sacred Foundry, and then Stomping Ground.
Right,
Breeding Pool's not in
Hollow
it.
Fountain, Overgrown Tomb, Steam Vents, and Temple Garden.
Yeah, so like really fucking weird. Anyway, Ashling is really that launchpad fucking card, ain't it?
Yeah, you really can just basically skip turns 3 and 5 and just be like, here's my 4-drop, here's my 6-drop, answer my threats.
And yeah, it does the work.
Yeah.
It's pretty spooky.
Feels good.
Medusa
you can also
answered
flip
it.
Ashling back and forth every turn, so you never have to choose, really.
True. All right. So, Medusa.
Yeah, hi.
Do you want to talk about Teval 2.0?
Sure, I can talk about Teval 2.0. I kind of talked about it over on GGG. Spoilers for that episode when it comes out a little bit. That has kind of moved forward a little. So I have kind of been having the stance of like, where is Teval going? Because we know it's not staying at extra combat steps, aka extra turns, because that they kind of put in harder guardrails around like chaining extra turns. And it just like wasn't hitting the right gameplay for me. So I've been looking at batching together colorless matters a la Mystic Forge and Ugin Eye of the Storm, and like Forsaken Monument with morph / manifest / face down matters, with like Kadena, Slinking Sorcerer. Because there's like weirdly a lot of overlap. There are multiple cards that give fairly large bonuses to colorless creatures. There's a Kozilek that gives colorless creatures +3/+2, which is pretty sick. And so fun thing about Teval, this is one of like the like classic Teval tricks, is that you can pay. First of all, like you can delve any amount of a colorless card's mana cost unless they have actual colorless symbols in there. So like Ugin can just be free. He will cost you 7 life, but other than that. So that's already like a powerful, compelling game plan. On top of that, then morph cards are interesting to play in this space because because morph is technically an alternate casting method. You can delve that 3. So your morph creatures can be free. When they enter face down, they do not have an assigned mana value. So they will not make you lose life. So you can go crazy with Teval, especially if there are numerous cards that say whenever a face down creature enters, draw a card. So you can go pretty stormy with it. Or just make like this big giant board, which is kind of what I'm doing with the deck list that I have. I haven't really gotten to test it though, and I'm a little worried that it's too narrow of a theme. There aren't as many things that care about specifically colorless, because a lot of the things that care about specifically a lot of the things that you would think care about colorless actually care about artifacts and vice versa.
It's either artifacts or Eldrazi, and you're just like, bro, no, I just wanted morph payoffs.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they've slowly been adding more and more like face down meta stuff. We saw that in Murders at Karlov Manor. They've added it and sprinkled that here and there, and like when they made the Kadena deck for like face down meta stuff, they're like, we solved it, we figured it out, it's over, there's nothing more that needs to be done. But I think trying to like recontextualize face down / like morph matters in a color combination where Kadena already exists, but coming at it from a completely different angle.
I mean, Kadena is in the deck.
Yeah, no, I saw. Yeah, Kadena's in the deck.
Yeah,
like...
she's a really good extender, but she's not. I think that you get to play more off-brand when you're not solely counting on that. You don't have to go quite as tight into the theme, and you can kind of open yourself up for like more sub-themes and stuff, because Taval is just good on her own. Manifest Dread also plays really, really well with Taval because it gives you more chances to throw stuff in your graveyard. And so I have things like Hauntwood Shrieker in the deck, which helps to flip over your face-down creatures because Taval cannot discount the actual morph activation costs. So that is a weakness. I think like overall the problem is largely that morph and face down as a whole are not hard. It's not a particularly strong theme because it's not very mana efficient, which Taval definitely helps with, but she's still a 5 mana card. So you have to be really focused in the rest of the deck, and you cannot just slap every morph creature in the deck and slap in some cards that say when you play face downs you draw a card or scry or whatever the fuck. Like it's not that easy because that deck is going to run very clunky, so you have to get like very creative and like very very focused with it in a way that I don't feel like I've cracked yet. And then I am eternally fighting off the urge to just build Taval as a Storm deck. Because
all things lead back to Storm, you know? Like...
Yeah, because like Archmage of Runes is such a cool card. Brain Freezing yourself for like 5 seems fun. Torment of Hailfire is a card that it's the Green Goblin Mask. Like, I'm resisting the urge to Torment of Hailfire X equals 20. Lose my 22 life and make my opponents make the worst decision on Earth 20 times. I'll probably pass on that.
That's the thing, right? Like, there's a lot of people... Like, we were talking about Jund decks earlier, about how people, like, they'll play Jund him out, they don't really care about anything else, like, the experience isn't boring to them, right? But when you do have a commander that really does make a certain type of strategy really strong, you're like, it is just like being in a whirlpool that is dragging you down to the Storm dimension and be like, you want to do it. It is the Green Goblin Mask being like, you want to do it. And trying to fight the ebb and flow to reach even like this point of being like a more colorless deck. Like, to me, if you're able to quote unquote crack the code and like enjoy the gameplay patterns, then like great, you've set out and accomplished what you set out to do. Now it's just a matter of not getting bored with it. You know?
I think that there's a world in which the correct Taval experience is to actually just go a lot harder on the Voltron. As well.
Glove.
Yeah, Genji Glove. The one thing that I haven't cracked with the Voltron on Taval is that you don't have the same level of aura and equipment support in Sultai that you do in, like, Boros, basically.
That's true.
And, like, that's fine. That's whatever. Like, we don't need to be equipping... Like, Taval makes up for so much of that by the fact that she kind of reads equipment spells you cast are free. The problem is, like with all of those decks, we don't have a SRAM here. We don't have a core Spirit Dancer. Like, Voltron is an incredibly
I've thought
hard...
about this.
Okay,
Voltron is a black hole of card advantage. And like most Voltron decks pad that up by like, you're spending so many cards in your hand to basically have one big point of board presence that like if that house of cards tumbles, you're so fucked.
God, I love it.
And like generally like that type of deck has some way to recoup that, like aforementioned core spirit dancers and like equipment. A lot of those equipment commanders have stapled onto them somewhere, like if you hit with a modified creature, draw a card now, right?
Yeah, and that's just
and you
not
just
there.
don't. Yeah, you just don't get that same level from.
You do.
Quinn
You just
is-
have to approach
Quinn
it
is
from a
leaping-
completely different angle. I'm
Okay.
frothing at the mouth here, telling you that equipment are artifacts.
Yeah.
You just have to accept that I'm also playing an artifacts deck, and you play the fucking when an artifact enters, you draw and discard, or when an artifact enters, or when you cast an artifact, draw a card. Like that suite of cards can play the same role as your SRAMs and your artifact or equipment enters draw that you get in Boros.
That definitely
You get it in
makes
blue.
permanence.
It's just you have to scrub off the part that says artifact or equipment and replace it with artifact.
But like, okay, but like the other hard part about Tebal is she requires so many different interconnected resources that if I am putting my eggs in the I have enough artifacts to make Tebal scary, and I have enough like artifact payoff that it is important that I'm putting out these artifacts. How am I getting spells into my graveyard, right? Like there are multiple angles that all kind of need the same amount of
You just play those artifact
selection.
spells that are like draw and then discard
And
unless you
discard a
discard
card,
an
yeah.
artifact.
Yeah,
this is the-
there
so
aren't
this
as
is
many of
the-
those as you would hope, unfortunately.
So here's the thing, right? Like this is the tricky
I'm gonna
balance.
get this Teval Voltron desk in your list on your desk in 2 weeks to show
Love
you
it.
what I'm concepting here.
Doc Ock's Tentacles, amazing. Like that
Okay,
goes in
yeah.
the deck almost no matter what.
Yeah,
Fuck
that seems
Heroes
good.
Blade, am I right? We don't need that shit.
Oh
We just
no,
need
no.
Doc
Heroes
Ock.
Blade 2. Heroes Blade 2. We play them both.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Quinn comes up with, and then you two can compare notes, and then you could be like, "Fuck, I've also become equipment pilled." Thanks, Empress Quinn.
I mean, I feel like I am the one who also has swords in their decks, so
Yeah, I was thinking of
I'm already there.
I just had the thought of the Magic School Bus, and it's just Quinn at the front driving. Like, what are we gonna do today, Empress Quinn and Quinn's
Hopefully
like
have a normal
swords.
field trip with no fucking knives with Empress Quinn.
Let's see.
No way.
Canoptic Spider is a pretty good one if you're doing this.
Yeah, there's
Elvish
the tech.
Archivist exists. That's
There's
actually
the tech
pretty
here
sweet.
for sure.
Real quick, as an interjection, I'm not saying that we need to wrap it up.
No, you're
gamers,
fading.
But my energy is rapidly leaving my body.
All right, sounds good.
Then I'll cut down to one more deck, and then we can see Medusa Soapbox.
Yeah.
So I think it's I don't know if this is necessarily important because, do I really need a reason to talk about my Audric Bloodcurse deck?
No.
But I think it's
literally your show.
yeah. There hasn't been any major updates except for like Summon Yojimbo finally joining the roster because I'm like, hey, I got 2 of these bad boys lying around. I think it's about time. So get more blink printings. That's great. Update Sun Titan to the I wouldn't necessarily update because it's all lateral, and I guess it depends on like what Sun Titan artwork you like. But I got the Secret Lair version in foil. What? I'm just trying to think of like what else. I continue to love Explosive Getaway in this deck of being that tricky spell of like, okay, I cannot permanently remove this thing right now, but what if I just like poofed it until the end step and dealt 4 damage to each creature, and it doesn't even have to be my creature, it can be someone else's thing. And people are like, huh, that's really weird. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking funky. I love this damn thing. I wish it was one less mana. Whatever. My friend recently told me that our LGS had a bunch of the Zendikar Rising MDFCs coming to stock, so I bought a few Kazul's Fury, and I figured I'll just add one in here just to kind of see how it works out. I feel like I run enough density of creatures where flinging something in someone's face for a certain amount of damage could be pretty cool. Can we talk about Ivora Insatiable Air for a second here? Because this card...
She puts in so much fucking work. She does way
when
more
you were
heavy
like,
lifting.
she's 2 mana, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
And
I thought she was 3. I unironically thought that card was 3 mana, and I was like, that card's pretty good.
Yeah. So, who knew that a 2 mana 1/1...
I was getting attacked by her, and I was like, did they put the trample on the card? Checks notes. Yep, they put the trample on the card. All right.
That card comes with pre-packaged trample. You don't even need to, like, enable that separately.
Yeah.
Busted.
I feel like she goes on the list of, like, I'm starting to build a list out of 1 through 3 mana creatures that take over the game on their own.
On their own, right?
Yeah. Ivora's there. Sephiroth is there. I think that Super Shredder deserves to be there. But
you still have to sell me on Super Shredder. I don't really see him doing much except getting big.
No,
I think that's enough if you put exactly 1 sword on him.
Yeah,
I guess. If you're going in on the plan of like putting swords on him, I can definitely agree with that. But I feel like that's cheating the idea of the 2 mana investment a little.
I don't know. I remember seeing. Okay, Super Shredder from the upcoming set. Fucking who gives a shit? 2 mana 1/1 with Menace that like basically has that fucking spear from
Tarian Soulcleaver.
Tarian Soulcleaver, thank you. Like adjacent kind of effect, does that same thing. Menace continues to put pressure on your opponents where they're like, I either take 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, or I actually have to start chump blocking this thing with 2 things to just offset that damage. And it won't matter because then it gets 2 things bigger.
It's everyone's permanence when they leave the battlefield.
Yeah.
Yep.
And TikTok taught me that if a player loses the game and their lands just disapparate from the battlefield, Shredder gets +10 all of a sudden.
If we're talking about 2 mana cards that can take over a game, and we're talking about Shredder, we're also talking about Ledger Shredder, right?
Yeah, Ledger Shredder, obviously. Like that thing, that's played in like Legacy or whatever, right? Like that thing.
Absolutely.
For this category of card is Inti Seneschal of the Sun.
the Shun. That dude's fucking awesome. Like, yeah.
AKA Red Ledger Shredder.
Actually, kind of a little bit, yeah. Except you can't have more than 1
card
out.
Advantage, the trample, it's incredible.
And like, I don't know. I talk about this deck a lot. I had Cass Strixhaven Dropout started doing like these deck reviews on stream, and I sent it over and I was like, hey, take a look at this. And she was going through it and she's asking like, what about this and why is this here and blah blah blah. And like then at the end Quinn showed up, was like, hey, what's up? I'm here to prove a point. And then the end result was like, yeah, it's a game changer list. I think it's still technically bracket 3 even with all these updates. I really don't see that the power level of this deck or anything changing with the change definition. I get away with too much in this deck, and it does way too much work when it works, and there are the times where it doesn't work, and that's also pretty great. I should probably still add just straight up another land to this. Oh, okay, hold on. I remember how to wrap this up for this one. Okay. Daily Bugle Building continues to do fucking work in every deck that it's in, and not just this one. There are times where I'm like, give this thing Menace, and people are like, shit, the math just changed completely. I don't know what to do about this. I look deep into your heart, tear out that thing that hates Universes Beyond just for a second, and just slot this into the deck, and you will be like, wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, it's only sorcery speed. That's fine. Whatever. We can make it work.
Yeah. This Audric the Blood Cursed is on Menace.
Yeah. Good. Thank God. He needs a keyword to help himself out here. I think I made him like 5, 6, or 7 power recently through like a combination of stuff, and people are like, does he have any keywords? I'm like, no. They're like, I guess it doesn't really matter because this dude is still gonna be fucking me up. Yeah. I love this deck so much. This thing does a lot of fucking work. Some people see the light, some people don't. Some people don't see
every day when I look in the mirror.
Some people more than others. All right, I'm not going to talk about another deck. That doesn't matter. Light's fading away here. Yeah. Do we have anything else to mention before we go into Medusa's? I'm loving this. I'm loving this soapbox thing. I'm ready for it.
No, you're not.
Well, I don't care. Okay, anyway. Let's hit the elevator music. And let's see what Medusa has to say.
And then we wait for the full track in silence in our heads, which we have all memorized.
Just wait here in silence. Okay, so my soapbox is, and this is one that I feel like I've been shouting into the ether for ages. Let people play arena-only commanders in paper. Parentheses, when they could be reasonably tracked in paper. So I'm not talking about any of the ones that are like the really, mechanics that are going to be very annoying and or impossible to track. But I have 2 examples. These are the 2 that I want to focus on because I think that these 2 are very reasonable paper cards. That can work with a little bit of extra preparation and effort on the part of the person who is playing them. So if I'm bringing this to your game, you do not have to do anything. It is just slightly more work on my end to do this. So the first one is Saint Elenda, which is the thesis of this whole idea because I love Saint Elenda so much.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Yeah. I have a proxy version that I commissioned of this in paper. I have not put the deck together yet simply because it, unfortunately, when it was shipped to me, it was a bad timing. Where I was working on, I think I was working on either Sauron or Marchesa at the time. So I was like in the middle of building another deck and then just kind of never got back to it. But it is still on my list of things to do. It is a 7-mana 4/7 with lifelink. When it enters, conjure a card of your choice from her spellbook into your hand. You may cast that card this turn without paying its mana cost. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, create an XX white avatar creature token where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. And every card in her spellbook enables that second ability to make a 4/4 at minimum.
Sick. Also, off-rip passes the Hero's Blade vibe check.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This thing passes the vibe check. So the 4 cards that it can cast are Faith's Fetters, Inspiring Cleric, Invoke the Divine, Ritual of Rejuvenation. Go look them up. They're all... so you get one of these at random. So essentially she casts one of these at random. But then instead of being treated like a copy or a token, it is just a full card that exists. So this is very easy to do on Moxfield, and if you're playing in paper, it is not too difficult to sleeve up these cards, a few copies of these cards to have around because they will linger. If they're returned to hand, they go back to your hand. If your graveyard gets shuffled back into your library, they will be shuffled back into your library. But, they don't really create any annoyance on the part of your opponents. They simply require a little bit more work that you are opting into by choosing to play it, which I think should be allowed if you would like to play this.
The only thing I can think of is that, like, anytime that I see these cards that say that they're conjuring or you're getting something from their spellbook or whatever, I'm like, So you're fucking wishing a card? Absolutely the fuck not. Get this out of here.
Whimsicalist. I'm
Yeah,
on board
I
with
know.
this soapbox. Hold on, let me share this girl in the chat. This is a deck that I have wanted to build for a long time and have been held off on by simply not wanting to play Arena that much. But Lucamina Moon Druid, and her she's just a 2/2 that like finds a land when she enters, but she has Specialize, which basically is Arena's version of Transform, except that you can transform into a variety of things, and she can hot swap between different wild shapes that all have slightly different effects.
Oh, that's funny.
So wait, I'm not familiar with how Specialize works. Super. This is one that I haven't. I haven't really done into as much.
When they tried to port over the Battle for Baldur's Gate stuff, they realized that like you can't take a multiplayer focused set and put it in Arena exactly 1-to-1. Right. So what ended up happening was that they gave them like same artwork, right? Or sometimes maybe the same mana value or whatever. And then they would gain another color property and like a bunch of effects tied to that like character or whatever. So it
was kind of like having a background, except that you paid a mana value and then the card permanently changed into a 2-color version that reflected the idea of like what is this character if you add blue mana.
So do you pay the 3 color list that is on her wild shape, or do you pay the mana cost that is listed on this face?
You pay,
or is it either or?
You pay the 3 mana to cast her, and then you pay 3 mana to specialize her to turn her into one of the other cards. And that normally the card is just permanently changed, but with her, she's specifically built so that she unspecializes, which allows you to swap between her different wild shapes over the course of a game.
Interesting.
That's wild.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Sagan mentioned.
My Blorbo for this sort of arena only that works fine in paper is Givrog Horror of Java. It's a 4-mana 6/6 with Menace, and at the beginning of each combat, if it's untapped, any opponent may sacrifice a non-token creature. If they do, you tap it and then seek a land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. And then the land gets this activated ability where you can pay green and a black and sacrifice it to draw a card.
What I will say is that I do think that I will say that I do have guardrails on this soapbox. Specifically because I think Perpetually is very fine if it is only on a few cards. So like this one is fine, but if like everything... So like I'm going to specifically... There is an argument, and I have cards for this argument, for allowing just arena only cards in the 99, but I'm going to keep this solely to can be your commander. Just to avoid, because I think that there are some tracking.
Well, okay, and you said that there was a second card that you
Oh,
wanted.
yeah, there's a second card, which is Albiorix Goose Tyrant. I love this thing. This thing would make me play Simic in a way that I do not currently want to play Simic. He is a 3-mana 3/3 Flying Trample Ward 1. Whenever you sacrifice a token, he perpetually gets +1/+1. This ability also triggers if he is in exile.
Right. This fucking guy.
Super. So this is Skullbriar 2.0.
Yeah.
And he is so sick because he has an adventure that is named Wild Goose Chase, which costs just a simple green and a blue to cast. And as an instant, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, which is we're already in Faithless Looting mode. I love this already. Create a food token. So basically he's just like the Voltron of all Voltrons, and you get to play him with like an interesting food, probably like food clues, treasure, etc. Blorbo, your little game objects. What did I call it the other night, Light? Your Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
Tchotchke.deck. And he's like the meanest goose of all time.
I also think that in the lore, this is Baluna Grand Squall's pet goose, and you can play it in the Baluna Grand Squall deck of Temur Adventures, so all of that is very mechanically cool.
And tied in together, yeah.
And then the one that you linked in the chat, Cole, I think is like the silliest version of this because like this is just a paper card.
Like that's the thing.
Sagan Raider Warlord
here's
is the card. Before we get to
here's the thing. I think if they tweaked some of these cards that were in Arena, like if they can take card concepts and port it into Arena and make it work that way and be like, this is the Arena version only thing because we can't program in Amber Mall or whatever the fuck her name is, right? But then they just straight up print cards in Arena that could just work in paper. And I'm just sitting there like, why the fuck was Sagan Raider Warlord just not printed in Aether Drift? Like,
I'm so many card slots and better for the card design to get used on Arena than not at all.
I guess so.
I'm in agreement on that, but also, my guy, just fucking print your Blorbo, please.
I'm not doing it.
Please bring me this Mardu double strike typal.
Please print this Blorbo. This specific Blorbo, I love so much.
I don't know. Like, I'm just so fucking upset because, like, I had a Quende Pride Ephemerate deck for the longest time where it was like, okay, creatures you control with first strike gain double strike. That's pretty simple and straightforward, and that was only just mono white. But then you make this thing where it's like, give them a +1/+0 bonus if they have first strike or double strike for each of them. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, we could have had it all, but instead they were like, no, we gotta put this thing and another legendary is a creature from Aether Drift onto Arena that also just works 1-to-1 on paper. And it's just like, I just wish it was like one or the other. And that if they have these creatures, if they have these cards, like, okay, Gitrog, Horror of Zava, I could probably be like, sure. If they tweaked the phrasing of some stuff of just be like, go search your library for a land or whatever instead of seeking it.
I just do reveal until you find a land.
Or that too, right? Like that, like they've figured out so many design issues in the past, like even decade alone, that just feels more intuitive to what Magic can be played like in paper. And they could have these cards come out. And I get like, and then they're like, oh, well, we can't put this card in Aether Drift, but we can make Spider-Man, I guess. And you're like, fuck you. Give it to me in paper. And then they put Rusko. Then they put Rusko in fucking whatever that fucking set is that I don't like.
Mystery Boosters 2.
They put Mystery Booster 2, the fake-ass Magic cards, the set, and then they're like, here's Rusko, and then they make it unobtainable to people just because of the nature of the property. And, like, yes, again, we're going to the whole hit the printer button or play it on Moxfield. But, like, they're the people who are like, hey, I have a huge stack of Midnight Clocks that I could just put out because we have Garth One-Eye where I can cast fucking Black Lotus, but I don't need to have Black Lotus. I could just use an Infinite Token, or I have a huge stack of Shivan Dragons or Brain Geyser or whatever, right? So
it turns out that Cole had a soapbox too.
Get his ass.
Yeah, Cole just like
I have 20
Cole just like becoming the most unexpected ally on this one. I thought that you were going to be very against this. The other one that I want to, if we're going to talk about 99, the two that I will shout out there, and you can go, listeners, you can go and look these up on your own, because Light is actively dying at this point, just fading away into dust. The two that I will shout out for the 99 of decks is I would very much like Fear of Ridicule to be in Fairyka, and I would very much like Perforator Crocodile to be anywhere I can put it.
What the fuck is this crocodile? I'm looking up this Fear of...
Perforator Crocodile is very funny. It puts a bunch of stab on everything.
Yeah,
I grew up... Control of Menace. Oh,
yeah, yeah, I need this for Fairyka!
Damn it. Hold on. All right, Fear
of
Ridicule.
Ridicule is actually perfect for my Rooms deck because it is all enchantments.
Yep.
Fear of Ridicule, 2 double black for an enchantment creature nightmare. That's a 2/3. Enchantment creatures you control have menace. Sick. Whenever one of our enchantment creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, exile a random creature card from that player's library. Okay. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 1/1 enchantment creature. Swap library for graveyard. You got me. I'm in.
Exactly. Swap library for graveyard.
That would
Or
have
you
been
just have
It's
them reveal
so
until they reveal a
easy.
creature.
or that too, sure.
Yeah,
and then
or until
put
they
the rest
reveal,
on the bottom.
or
but,
a creature from your opponent's library of their choice.
well, that could.
Yeah, I'll take your Lana War Elf, sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll give. Yeah, it's gonna be a 1-1 at the end of the day. But yeah,
That's
I just wish like. These cards are so close. That's the one thing that, and I get it. Quinn's always like hand on shoulder, like let them have their cards, and like fuck arena players. This whole thing is a waste of everyone's time. You go into the brawl queue, and all you go is against Laughing Jasper Flint, and it makes me want to reach through the screen and be like, "Oh, if I hit good game, I'm fucking lying. I want to insult you to your face. You are." What the fuck was that guy's name from earlier that I mentioned? Fucking Colin. Fucking damn it, Colin Robertson. Quit fucking wasting my time. I don't know. Arena continues to be that one thing where I'm just so infuriated. People are upset about Magic for a multitude of reasons, and mine isn't about Universes Beyond or about print quality or about half-baked set designs or hat sets. It's about fucking Arena. That thing
All right,
fucking
Granddad,
infuriates
let's
me.
get you to bed.
All right.
Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah. So, hey, you two, thanks for coming through.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming through.
It's
It's
been
been
fun.
absolutely lovely having this chat with you and talking about decks and all of that. And this soapbox, we love that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Came in clutch. Medusa, please handle the socials for you on this end. Where can we find you two, and what do you do?
What do we do? We do a lot of stuff. So for me personally, you can find me at the Lovely Medusa pretty much wherever, mostly Instagram and Blue Sky. We are the hosts of the GasLyght, wow, now you have me fucking it up, Cole. I hate you. I hate you so much.
GateCrash, GirlBite podcast.
GasLyght, GateCrash, GirlBite. Thank you, Quinn. Podcast, which you can find wherever quality podcasts are sold. Light, do you want to do your socials?
Sure. Hi, I'm Light. I'm Indominus Lux on the internet in the places that matter, and some of them that don't. You may know me from having the #1 Baitor Ancestor's Voice and Indominus Rex decks on Moxfield, or some of the other things that I do. But you'll find those if you follow those socials. I'm sure Cole will put them in the description.
They're all in the description as usual. Yeah. Go check out their podcast. It's always a good time. I'm very, very excited for the next episode. I'm curious what you two were up to. Who knows? They might come out on the same day. Fingers crossed.
That may happen.
And as usual, you can find us at the Bloodrick Guy and Girl Dick Energy and HBVC-MTG, where we be yapping about video games, cats, weed, and magic cards. And then check us out on MTG Lexicon on Saturdays, the Dive Bar VDH playing Commander. And yeah, that's a wrap. We'll see you next time.
Later, gamers.
Bye.
Bye.